the halls of directors of High Rollers Limited, Rhiannon, Tom, Katie, Trot, and Kim. We're all fabulous. We're all warm. We're all gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. How is everyone? Somebody talk while I fix this a little bit.
I'm so hot. And I don't mean the
to our American viewers, we don't have AC, and our houses are built for heat.
That's
so don't come at us when we say we're hot.
I got a portable aircon unit right here.
Trot's got AC. He's the only one. We've got like fans, and that's it. And
I got
our country's
crappy
I
little
don't have a fan.
Katie's from Scotland. All right, anything over 20 degrees, it doesn't exist
20
normally.
Yeah,
I've just got an open
What's
window.
that?
That's it.
I'm a wee little twig boy. I'm burning here.
So, just as a heads up, we might be a little weirder than usual. We might be a bit more distracted. We might be a bit weirder. We might be a bit more distracted in today's episode. My brain is operating at about 50% power, so stay with me. Before we play some Dungeons and Dragons, there's quite a lot of stuff to talk about. The first thing of which, always super important to get out and talk about our love for D&D Beyond. Our sponsors for today's episode. Chris Trott, tell us about D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond are releasing Fizban's Treasury of Dragons soon, so you can pre-order that. It's the brand new book. Make your dragons soar to new heights with this supplement for the world's greatest role-playing game. It's a bit of ego there, but yeah, sure. So this has introduces Gem Dragons, the D&D 5th edition, reveals the story of the first world and the role of Bahamut and Tiamat. I can't stop scrolling. Played in its creation and destruction. New player character options, including draconic ancestries for Dragonborn, dragon-themed subclasses for monks and rangers, and new feat and spell options for use in the character builder. And you can utilize a rich hoard of tools and info for DMs to design dragon-themed encounters, so very dragon-focused. And of course, if you pre-order it on D&D Beyond, you'll get
okay there, Tom?
the full digital format of this, which allows you to make it easily searchable. All the encounter builders are built in, which is very useful for DMs, the character builder, and the digital character sheets as well. So pre-order that on D&D Beyond right now. Let's not fuck about. Everyone loves dragons.
Well, the other thing, also, keep in mind, if you are going to pre-order it, make sure you click our link before you do. Click our link and then pre-order it from there, because that says to D&D Beyond that we sent you, and that really helps us out. So make sure if you're going to pre-order Fizban. Here's a question to the five of you. Do any of you know who Fizban is?
I just read about him. He's the fabulous doddering archmage, unlikely hero of the War of the Lance, isn't he, Mark?
Oh, Chris Trott,
just
you've
off the
blown
top
me
of the
away.
dome.
I can't believe you knew that.
I'm pretty sure he's a divine avatar of a dragon god, and your guide to the mysterious and dragonkind.
Damn! You got me.
Not a fizzy drink.
No, not a fizzy drink. No. Fizban's lifting drink.
Fizban got banned.
Yeah, go and check that out. And as always, D&D Beyond, they've also, D&D Live, they announced that, but there's also the coming up Witchlight of the Wild. It's called like Witchlight of the Wild Witchlights. It's a
Wild Beyond the Witchlight, I think you're talking about there, Mark.
Wild Behind the Witchlight, that's it. That's also available. And buying these books like on D&D Beyond is super useful. It lays out the information in a really easy to access way. I use it all the time. So go and check
that one actually looks. I should have talked about that one. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
Thanks.
It looks super spooky.
We'll talk about it next week, Trot. Talk about it next week. Boy, yeah, a whole book all about dragons. Man, what timing. Really cool that they're doing all this cool dragon content. Really glad about that. Yep.
Sounds great to me. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. No, yeah, oh, of course, yeah. You can use it in, oh, God, imagine, Tom, if a DM ran a dragon-themed campaign. I have a lot else to talk about.
But Mark, will
Yes.
they have metal dragons, and what will they sound like?
Anyway, moving on. So there's actually some really cool stuff to talk about. to let you guys know about, to get hyped about, to make sure you kind of let other people know, especially people that can't watch live. We have got a bunch of bonus content coming up here on High Rollers D&D, and I want to talk to you about it. So on Tuesday the 20th, that's this coming Tuesday, so literally the next Tuesday from this live episode, at 8 p.m. UK time on High Rollers D&D and on Yogscast Twitch channels, we will be gathering around a physical table once more. Play a special sponsored one-shot for Steamforged Games Animal Adventures Faraway Sea. This is a brand new Kickstarter, a campaign setting they're doing that's built around Steamforge's Animal Adventure series of products, where you can play D&D as awakened animals. You'll get to learn more about the Faraway Sea on Tuesday the 20th. Again, that's this coming Tuesday. Spread the word. As we play through a pre-made adventure with some of the pre-made characters that will be part of the whole shebang. Kim demanded to play the Pig Barbarian. So you can look forward to that.
The Rotund. I don't even know what the first name is, because all I saw was Rotund, and I was like, I want to be Rotund.
That.
Yeah, that's me.
So that's, again, this coming Tuesday on High Rollers D&D Twitch or on Yogscast, whichever one you would prefer to watch on. And we're going to be at the physical table to play that. That's going to be fun and nice. We've got loads of cool miniatures.
I'm not going to shout between then and now.
No.
Yes. We will do. But also, that's not all. That's not all, folks. Because starting on Thursday, the 29th of July, so not this coming Thursday, the Thursday after, at 8 p.m. UK time, we are very excited to be showcasing the brand new Avatar Legends role-playing game, which is based on Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, by Magpie Games. We'll be doing 2 adventures using this system, but you'll get more of information about that next week. But get hyped about it. Go and check it out. Go check out Magpie Games. They make some really cool RPGs as well. And yeah, you can sit there and enjoy us playing through Avatar Legends from Tuesday, the 29th of July, Thursday, the 29th of July. So you can go and check that out. But you might be thinking, Mark, that's 2 Thursdays of stuff. What about Curse of Strahd? Well, here's the thing. We finished Curse of Strahd, by the way. It's done. We finished it last week. It was really cool. You should go and watch it and binge the whole series.
The finale is done.
Good. It's done. Yeah. Curse of Strahd's over. It's finished. So you should go and check that out.
Yep.
But yeah, exciting stuff. So this coming Tuesday, Animal Adventures with Steamforged Games One Shot. And then starting on the 29th of July, Avatar Legends, Avatar The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, etc. with Magpie.
See you next Tuesday.
Some very cool sponsored stuff. Very, very excited to be working with those folks on all of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna play
that is it
as
for
an
me.
order.
I do have one small...
Katie's got a thing.
One small metal thing that I don't currently have in my room, which is annoying.
I do.
Does anyone have one? So very soon, this is our next pin that's going to be on the store, which is Trelemar.
Trelemar! He's got his rope!
He's got his rope, and that's going to be available hopefully next weekend for you guys. So we're giving you advance notice because it is limited edition, as all the other ones are. So yeah, if you're a big Trell fan with Trell's rope,
lots of people are.
Yeah. Matt gave us his blessing and has one of these as well. And yeah, he's going to be next for our little pin collection. Enjoy.
I see a few people asking in chat, by the way, for the Avatar themed game that we're going to be running. It's like 2 one-shots. So it's not a full campaign, but it's going to be 2 separate streams. So, and they'll follow on from each other. They'll be with the same characters and stuff like that.
Yes.
And if we enjoy playing it and you guys enjoy watching it, maybe it's something we'll revisit. I know that quite a lot of us are big Avatar fans as well, so we might come back and check it out.
We did a run through with Magpie Games of getting us up to scratch with it all, and they did a very good job of getting us excited. We were excited anyway, but the systems and stuff they got in place, very cool.
It's not. So to make it as well, also so people know, it's not 5th edition system. So it's not 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons as the system. It's using a Powered by the Apocalypse system. If you know your tabletop role-playing games, that'll be familiar with you. If you don't know what that means, it's a much more narrative system. Again, I'm going to talk more about it next week. It's very, very cool. It's much more narrative, and it suits the world of Avatar very, very well. So come and check that out. Faraway Adventures, Animal Adventures with Steamforged Gauge is 5th edition, though. So if you know 5th edition, you'll be able to follow that along super easy. And that's it. Cool. Well, with that and Trelly Belly there, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else, so we can get to those sweet, sweet dun-duns. Hello, and welcome back to Aerois. Last time, the champions of Aerois, along with the newly mobile Sky City of Horizon, have travelled to the continent of Gisela to rescue hundreds of Guardians who had all gathered at the City of Glass, a ruin of the Valkyrian War. Armed forces of Gisela, now allied with Callus Starbane, are attempting to claim the ruined city for some purpose, but are being held off temporarily by a small guerrilla force of rebels and Guardians. Trying to combat drop into the battle zone, the party were knocked off course and split up, eventually facing off against an elite airship by themselves on the edge of the City of Glass. After its initial powerful barrage, Nova covered the warship in a terrible, reality-breaking psionic storm of magical energy that turned the tide. Leaving the wrecked ship off the coast, the party travelled into the city itself, but were detected by packs of feral guardians. Sentry, wishing to help, approached them and attempted to use the Prime Matrix to save their weary spirits. Despite an initial failure, she attempted once more and managed to rescue one soul and place it with a fresh soldier called Archer. Now, the party stand in the ruins of the City of Glass, the sounds of terrible battle all around them, and they must decide what next to do. And that is where we begin. I heard your little laugh there, Kim. Was there a little laugh at my description of what happened last time?
Just thought it was, very
accurate.
detailed. Very detailed.
Yeah.
Lots of, yeah.
A terrible, reality-breaking sonic storm of magical energy, I believe, would accurately describe what Nova did.
Well, it was gruesome, horrifying, probably the worst thing that any of us have ever done. That would have been more accurate.
But we're not going to hammer the point anymore. Yeah. Cool.
I also caught 2 of my friends in it as well, and myself in it.
Yeah. I mean, we literally resume where we left things off after Sentry has, rescued this one Guardian, Archer, who's now kind of following along behind you. You guys are in the City of Glass. As a quick refresher for audience and for you guys, the City of Glass was once a pretty big metropolis city. It was once part of the Solwyn domain. But with the war and everything else that happened, it kind of got separated from the rest of Solwyn. It was, unfortunately, as part of the war, it was attacked by some sort of weapon that turned everything in it into this thick it transmuted stone and metal and wood and even people into like this glass-like substance. It isn't glass, but it is similar to it. It's like a kind of very strong resin. It's translucent for the most part, although when you start layering it against each other, it does become more opaque and it does get harder to see the thicker the substance. So you find yourselves walking down these streets of just scintillating, glittering buildings of this kind of resin, and the light warps as it passes through it. It can be quite disorientating, but there's a beauty to it as well as a kind of haunting nature of what happened here. But you need to figure out where you would like to go. We're going to keep using the Roll20 map with the gridded map because it's a good way of kind of mapping out progress and where roughly you are in the city. I've also added some locations, either places that you saw when you were kind of flying over or places that you might even remember from the last time you were here. So just to kind of give you a bit more orientation. But at this point, I'm going to throw it to you guys.
Along this walk, I believe Lucius would ask Sentry / Archer. Is that Archer, the name?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you have a connection to Herald?
I do not, Mr. Elanasto. I as Sentinel Prime will instruct you, I have been waiting in the Prime Matrix, ready for a rebirth. I am aware of Herald. I saw Herald's actions with Sentinel Prime and what has been done before, but no more, I'm afraid.
So you don't share that? You're all in Sentry's belly. Just
if you wish to think of it that way,
wisping around. Do you share any sort of emotional connection or memories?
No, nothing of the sort. Sentinel Prime is the only one who can perhaps gather those sensations from us. We don't share memories. We are our own people. We're not a hive mind or a collection of consciousness. We are, think of us as all swimming in the same river. The river keeps us there, keeps us afloat, but we are all individuals. And then when the time is right, the Prime, in this case Sentinel Prime, will send us to a new body, a new matrix to inhabit. And when we do so, we gain a physical form. Until that time, we are ghosts, spirits, but individualized.
Fascinating. Must be quite interesting being in Sentry's belly like that. Swimming all the time.
It's such a weird turn of phrase, Lucius.
Is it?
I mean, it's
it
in the
more
Matrix.
like a heart.
It's in her chest.
Yes.
Sorry,
it's also like the
you're
core
right.
of
It's more of a chest
being.
thing. Either way, I was trying to get at whether we have to use our regular means of finding Herald or whether you had some form of connection.
I'm afraid I do not. If anybody has a connection, it would be Sentinel Prime, not I.
Right. I guess we keep on the lookout then. That's our aim, right?
Yeah. I mean, is there anywhere where Herald might have gone? I mean, we've been to the Temple of Siaska before. Maybe there?
If Herald's looking for Rook, that's where I believe we fought with him, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're heading.
Okay.
Makes sense. That's where Herald was before, so it's worth trying. Also, it's more central in the town, so I can always try locate creature, and if something happens in the journey, then we'll go that way.
Do you think we should focus on getting there as soon as we can, or should we stop if we see any feral guardians en route and try and fix them? Or should we just beeline?
Sorry.
There's a feral over there!
It's so loud!
There's definitely... So as this is a genuine reminder, when you're having this conversation, there is the sound of battle all around the city. But especially to the south, outside the city itself, you can still hear the barrage of magical cannons and the airships raining fire down. You can hear the sounds of like large numbers of troops engaging in physical combats or things like that. You remember when you were flying overhead that the main forces of Giselle are assaulting outside the city, where the encampment of the rebel forces that you encountered when you last came here. They're fighting them. Probably, and you saw guardians with them and things like that as well, like living guardians with them. And here in the City of Glass, you have heard sounds of battle and you have heard sounds of shouts and cries. But because of the way the city is so big, it's so empty now, and all this resin glass, it's very hard to pinpoint the noise. Like it seems to almost come from all around. Very, very difficult.
Well,
even for Quill,
echoing.
who is yeah.
That's cool.
Well, we could always make a beeline for wherever we think Harold is, and I'm sure we'll come across people on the way.
It's just a
Guardians
question
that
of,
we could maybe help.
do we avoid them, Sentry? Do you think you could restore others, or
I could,
would it
but
take longer?
well, the worry is that it will exhaust me. I fear that by the time we get to Herald, I might not have enough energy to restore as many as we need to. Whereas if we can get them all in one place, maybe do as many as we can.
I mean, the bigger group we have with us, the better it'll be.
Exactly.
Right.
There's Sentry already looks quite tired, and Harold seemed like she was in trouble, didn't she? If we don't get to Harold, and Sentry has no energy when we get there, then that's not really much use. I think that's our priority.
Let's prioritize Harold then. We should make a move. The war is still going on.
All right.
Okay. Temple of Siaska. Seems like the best bet, so let's go that way.
Just to check, Nova, is there anything you want to say or do?
No, she's just thinking about
Thinking about death.
things.
Thinking about killing.
Repercussions.
Just thinking about killing again.
Sure, no, I just wanted to check because obviously I want to make sure that everyone has a chance if there is something they want to say. So, to make your way, I mean, you can see on the map, the Temple of Siaska is sort of to the northwest. For the purposes of the map, to make navigation easier, you have to basically go either like north or west. There's no diagonal movement on the map, just to kind of make it to represent you moving through different city streets and things like that. At some point,
around streets.
Yeah, you're going to have to cross through those districts. To the north, the buildings seem a lot more broken. It's a lot more damaged to the north. You can see that a lot of the buildings have collapsed and created much more debris of this like resin, which means that it could be quite an unstable area to move through. To the west is a marketplace. You can see that large sections of the city were opened up into kind of, open plazas or marketplaces or streets with many shops and things like that. Much more stable, but lots more places where things could hide.
Now we could expend some more magical ability to fly over these structures. However, I think we're going to need everything on standby in case we do get engaged by more forces. So I'll leave it to you. What do you reckon? Should we go through the marketplace?
I can do the old invisibility trick, but unfortunately I can only really extend it to us, and I kind of shrug. Nova shrugs and looks towards Archer.
I can send an arcane eye out, and I suppose Sentry could send Echo out. Wait, is Echo still alive? I can't remember.
Echo's still alive.
Yeah, Echo's still alive. Just keep in mind that these, like, on the terms of the map, Tom, these squares are like 2 miles.
Yeah, I mean,
the arcane eye can travel, but you'd be sitting here waiting for it to travel there and then come back, you know. You could always use it to scout ahead of you and just give you an early warning sign. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got an hour, so I can probably do like a tile.
Yeah, so that's the other thing I was going to mention. So the speed at which you can travel through the city, each square on the map, which is basically like a zone where I'll like describe roughly what it's like. You might have an encounter or something like that. If you move in stealth, if you move stealthily, it is about 1 square per hour. So it takes you an hour to move through one section, one zone of the city. If you move at a normal pace, you can move about 1.5 squares, like a zone and a half kind of thing. Or if you move quickly, you can move two squares. You can move through about 2 zones.
I think if we have a combo of the Arcane Eye and Echo, then maybe we could go like a regular pace rather than stealthing.
Yeah, I would say if you have those 2 things going and moving ahead of you, you can move at a normal pace, but you can still stealth, I would say. You could still try and stealth it with those guys moving forward. It would almost be a reverse stealth where I would have Quill and Sentry make perception checks rather than you guys making stealth checks, and then you would just know, right, up ahead there's some enemies.
Yeah,
we now
just
hide
being
or we
efficient about it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Perception.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Watch him roll a 1.
I will.
Yeah.
Still a 12.
Damn.
But yeah, I'll cast Arcane Eye just before we set off.
Okay.
And I like
So I do
that
my echo
plan.
when yours goes.
I think both
Yeah,
at the same
so
time.
I'll basically have you, Echo, you kind of send out, and then you and Quill will make perception checks to represent Echo kind of like spying on stuff and then telepathically telling you what's going on.
Yeah, I think 2 at once is good. And when mine runs out, then we can just travel by the 1. Or I could cast it again. Yeah. Either or.
Nice.
Because Echo's free, right? So you may as well.
Yeah, I can only use it once per long rest, so I get 1 use.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Well, he comes out for he lasts until he's destroyed. Once you summon Echo, he's there until he's destroyed, basically. Yeah. But you know that Echo is extremely fragile. Like one attack will probably destroy Echo. So
yeah. All right, sounds good. Well, I will cast Arcane Eye in that case, and we'll go at a regular pace.
I'll summon Echo.
Okay. And then is the plan to go through the marketplace then? Still?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna keep using my invisibility thing. You know, where I can go invisible on an action at will. So
May
I'll
as
just
well.
keep doing it.
Yeah, it's so good. Just
I know, right?
permanent invisibility just for
powerful.
moving
I
around.
want to use it all the time.
I think
So
a
we,
lot
you
of
know,
us
Tiang-
are still invisible for a little bit, unless we dropped
it took an hour to travel, so that invisibility would have gone, I think. Oh no,
We
because you
also-
did it before.
She might be there for
That-
the start because we've still. I think some of us
Yes.
are still invisible
I think we short rested
So-
from
as
one
well, though.
sentry. Oh,
We short
You
rested,
took the short
yeah.
rest before then, didn't you, or was that after?
we did
After.
take it before.
I can't remember.
It was
I thought
after.
it was
Okay,
after.
in that case, then the
Oh.
invisibility is gone. Yeah.
Never mind.
Cool.
I kind of imagine for Nova's invisibility, it's kind of like optic camouflage, where like Tiangong kind of like ripples and like. It's not like
100%.
Yeah, it's kind of more like that.
Nice.
So Nova vanishes, and then Quill and Sentry kind of lead the way with Echo and the Arcane Eye scouting ahead. Okay, well in that case, Sentry and Quill, if you would both like to make perception checks for me, please.
Plus 11, baby. Here we go.
+2,
28.
12.
Oh, 28.
20.
Very nice.
The Arcane Eye is basically keeping an eye out for you, and it becomes very
Nice. quickly
apparent moving through the city. Echo kind of bobbing and weaving. Echo's quite small, and the Arcane Eye just kind of drifts through. The marketplace, there are enemies here. They haven't detected you yet because the Arcane Eye is so far ahead, but there are definitely enemies here. Not just feral guardians. There are you find feral guardians. I'll describe the area first, and then I'll kind of get to it. The crystalline, like market stands and buildings and shops, all seem to be in fairly good condition, but you can see areas where they've been broken into. Claw marks, great kind of fists or hammers have broken sections of them down, leaving these little kind of caves in these glass buildings, and where the insides became hollow, they then become places to hide. Many of them have had areas scratched so that the glass becomes frosted and can no longer be seen through. Dozens, hundreds of scratches to kind of mask it out from visual sight. You see no signs of obvious battle, but for the first time, and you don't remember seeing a lot of this the first time you came to the City of Glass, you begin to see the outlines of people that were turned to glass. Humans, orcs, elves, dwarves, halflings. Many of them in fear. Many of them sort of with look to be that they were maybe carrying supplies, but now they're just these solid kind of vaguely humanoid forms of glass. You can see that time has eroded them, has worn them down. Many of their features have been lost, but you can still see these shapes that vaguely reminisce of people as they're kind of huddled around. Moving through the Arcane Eye, sadly not Echo. Echo's kind of patrolling around, but Sentry, you don't spot anything. But the Arcane Eye, in some of these buildings that have been hollowed out, some of the kind of upper floors of them, it looks like people have, things have clawed up and made their way, like there have been nests have been made here. And there are feral guardians inside. They don't normally seem to, there's not too many of them. There are small packs of like 2 or 3, but there's, several of them scattered around. There are also non-functional guardians who have just stopped. It looks like some of them have just stood still in the middle of a street. Some of them look like they've fallen over and collapsed. Some of them have been broken. Some of them have been ripped apart, pulled apart. And now maybe only a head and an arm or a chest piece and some legs remain. Some of them look like they've had, things almost like a bracken and things like that have grown over them, where they've been stationary for so long. Only maybe sort of a couple of them scattered here and there, but you see them nonetheless. The last thing is the arcane eye would detect that there are living forces here. You see ropes with grapple hooks attached to them, attached to the side of the tallest buildings. Signs of movement, of routes being cleared out, all sort of coming from this region. This is definitely active with enemies. None of them have seen you yet, but it is definitely here.
So, am I able to... Good job, by the way, putting an actual war crime in here so we have some context. So,
all jokes aside, Nova, compared to what Zarkira specifically did during the war, this is pretty bad.
Good God. So, am I able to basically plot safer routes through, based on, there's enemies this way, that way, whatever?
Yeah, you will be able to for sure, but it's that threat of... You can plot those. Everyone else is still going to need to make stealth checks because there's always the chance that something gets heard. But you'll be able to avoid the majority of them for sure.
Okay, there's so many that we do have to stealth through it then.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier. DC is going to be significantly lower because the arcane eye can say you send it around, you scout out for a moment. It depends as well how slow do you want to go, Tom? Because you could slow the party right down, and I would say you don't need to make a check at all because you're going to be like, right, okay, wait here for 10 minutes, scout out the next plaza. Right, there's enemies in these buildings. We're going to go around this way instead.
Yeah, I think the intention. The intention was that if we have the Arcane Eye and Echo, then we're able to plot a route and move at a regular speed, so we're not wasting too much time making a route. But if it's so infested that there's so many enemies here...
Yeah, this isn't just like a one wandering patrol kind of area. There are like nests of feral guardians here, like dozens of them, all spread out throughout this section of the city, this zone, as it were. So you can still use the Arcane Eye and Echo to get through it. It's either you've got a choice. You either make stealth checks and try and move at a normal pace, or you don't make the checks but you go slow. That's the kind of choice I'm offering. Is you can avoid the enemies 100%, but you'll be slowed down, or you can risk it and try and move through, but you might still alert some of them.
Yeah, if the eyes are influencing the stealth, then regular pace with stealth works. I think that makes sense.
Sure.
So we could try that. I'm good with that.
I'm right with that. I'm gonna roll really high on stealth anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, we got sentry.
Do I get advantage for being
You don't need to
invisible?
roll. You're an automatic success in this because you're invisible.
Hooray!
Great.
I can't
do it.
I'm going to have disadvantage because I'm level 1 exhausted.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Happy to give it a go.
I mean, sentry's never stealthy,
stealth,
let's be honest. It's sentry.
Yeah.
If we run any of them to spot anyone...
Actually, sentry, you'd have disadvantage anyway because you wear heavy armor, so...
True.
Double disadvantage.
Double
An automatic 1.
Triple.
Alright, well, yeah, I can roll some stealth, if it's stealth's all round.
I'm rolling.
All right,
Boom.
Let's do some stealth.
stealth checks.
Natural 20!
Yep, same.
I'm so silent.
15.
Oops, my lowest was a 5.
So,
Oh my God.
So Quill got 22. I saw.
22.
Was that a 2? That's a 2. Sorry. That was my
Ayla got
lowest.
15. Sentry got 2. Lucius got a 11, and then Nova's an automatic success. I think. I haven't rolled for Archer. Let me roll for Archer.
Oh, good.
This will fix everything.
She's an archer.
Yeah. What she can do is fire quiet arrows as soon as we put a foot down.
No, she fired explosive arrows.
Have advantage.
Archer.
That's the wrong arrows.
So, well, here's the thing. It's actually a complete tie because it's 3 failures versus 3 successes in a group check. Which does mean that the status quo remains unchanged. So I think what that means is that's how I always kind of count a tie in this situation. What to me that means is you reach a point, Quill, where you're leading everybody through the eye. Everyone's remaining quiet, but you're trying to move at a normal pace. And you find yourself out in a large, let's say like a big kind of amphitheater, like a kind of like, a public area where an amphitheater would have once been. Surrounded by these tall, double-story kind of shops and artisan stations in a kind of wide open street. You think that this is a kind of safe place. You've checked with the eye, you've scouted around. But when you get there, you come to the realization of that actually these feral guardians have been moving whilst you've been moving through the city. The sound, the footsteps, everything else, they've become aware and they've moved, repositioned, and now you're at this point where if you want to push on, if you want to continue moving at a normal pace, they will find you and there will be a confrontation. If you want, you can stay here and wait and take the time, and they will eventually move on. And with the eye, you can keep everybody out of that encounter, but it will take time. But it's now one or the other. It's either take more time or you will have a confrontation.
Okay, Sentry, the question is directed specifically at you because there's these guardians will find us unless we stay here and wait. I know that time is precious. It's a question of, do we try and confront them? Do you try to restore them? We either wait and we lose a bit of time, or we attempt more restoration. Last time you tried it, the other ones fled.
They did. But we need to preserve our resources. We don't know what's going to be out there. We don't know what's going to be in the temple.
True, but time is also a resource that we're running out of, so...
Okay. True. Okay, let's push.
You sure?
Yeah. Let's keep
pushing. How can we help you out? How can we help you out?
We'll stay together. We can draw on each other's energy to imbue the Matrix with more power. We can work together.
Perfect.
All right.
Stick together.
Okay. So with Quill leading the Arcane Eye, kind of noting the kind of major locations, the last sort of 20 minutes becomes not a full chase, but Quill, you try and lead them continuing on, and you begin to get the sense that things are following you. Things in the shadows along side streets that know this city far better than you, even with this kind of animal intelligence. These guardians in this feral state have analyzed, have learnt the routes they need to take. And it becomes a mad rush as you try and kind of push on as quickly as possible to get through this section of the city. Eventually, as you guys are dashing through, you run past the amphitheater through into these narrow sort of alleyways where once would have been these beautiful artisan shops and things like that. You see things that look like a florist's, that look like a kind of blacksmiths, kind of weaving your way through these narrow alleys. You find you guys are surrounded. Groups of maybe 2, 4, 6, 8 guardians kind of wrapped a pincer as you were in these things. They, once again, as soon as they get near Sentinel Prime, they hesitate for just a second. You can see that they kind of get there and the matrix of Sentinel Prime pulses and they kind of stop and they seem stunned for a second. What do you guys do?
I'm looking Sentry.
Hold my hands.
Yeah.
Everybody, reach out. Link hands.
Okay.
I'll grab. Yep.
Okay.
Grab hands immediately.
You'll kind of like touch or, you grab Sentry's shoulder or grab her hands or something. All right. Sentry, what do you want to do?
Focus with me on being calm. Don't show them fear. Try not to be angry. Try to be calm. And I'm just gonna try and absorb as much of their energy as I can into the Matrix. And again, try and exude that same calming presence that I did the first time.
Are we trying to calm them, sorry? Or are we being calm?
Both.
Trying to get
Sentry's told you.
Yeah.
We're trying to create a calm space.
I could literally
the Guardians, and you can see they're all a mixture of Guardian types, right? There's actually one who is massive. You can see these big hulking hands, maybe some sort of construction Guardian. Big hands built for like digging or carving out something. One of them appears incredibly small, almost like a halfling-sized Guardian. All different shapes and sizes, purposes, all built around. Their eyes are just dull. There's no color to them whatsoever, but they move in this kind of zombie functionless state where it's all animalistic. They kind of just, their jaws like hanging open and stuff. You will grab Sentry's hand. I have a question for everybody but Sentry. You feel something tugging at your sort of life force. You kind of feel like something wanting to take power. Do you give it?
Is it something Lucius has felt before? With
this is coming from the Matrix. Yeah, this you feel the same energy of the Matrix. Like this is almost like the Matrix is calling out for more power, basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
For Lucius, you would sense that this would probably be a spell slot for Lucius.
All right, yeah.
I mean, it's better than my dumb plan.
Channel her lightning type anger, ragey energy into it.
Sure. Okay, good. Definitely not what Sentry asked for, but the anger, the Guardians kind of snap up.
I think she'll try and like control it in a way that's more giving the lightning than the energy of the lightning rather than Ayla's rage. I feel like she's trying her best to do what Sentry says, but give her power in a way.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, my plan was like casting calm emotions on them. I feel like this will help more. So I will.
No, if you want to do that, Tom, you can do that as well. This is just like you feel this like sensation. You decide what you want to do. I'm not going to say which one's better. You pick which one you want to do.
I mean, I kind of saw when we saw this happen before. It was an attempt to calm them and bring them in, right? So I feel like
that's certainly what it appeared to be to you guys from the external, not seeing the internal. What was going on with the Prime Matrix to you? They were angry. They were, acting like animals. Sentry tried to calm them. She spoke to them about, emotions and taking things on, and then Archer seemed to calm down and became Archer. That's what you guys witnessed externally.
Yeah, I'll try it. So it's a 20-foot area. How many could I get?
Let's say, for the sake of argument, at least half of them. You can catch kind of like two sections or like half of this kind of pack that surrounded you.
Okay, well, in that case, they make a charisma saving throw against 21.
I'm going to assume they fail. The effect here is going to be relevant. It's going to make things easier for Sentry. You do see them kind of like stop snarling. They kind of go slack-bodied, almost like, animals that have been pacified. But they're still there, and the others are still kind of looking around. But you definitely sense that something changes there.
Awesome.
Nova, is there anything you would like to do? Or you, again, feel that same sensation of like this... and I think Nova would understand this more. Like Tiangong maybe even kind of says to you, they are attempting to take power from my magical energy, Nova Vija.
Are you okay with that?
I believe that we can offer a nominal amount of power in exchange and not be under-advantaged.
Then, yes, let's do it.
Okay. So, Lucius and Nova, I would like you both to expend a 5th level spell slot. It's the highest for Nova, and a 5th level spell slot for Lucius.
I just ticked off
Ayla, your lightning
first
kind
level.
of crackles down your body. The energy definitely goes into the Matrix, but you can see that the lightning, even though you're kind of trying to focus it into this kind of call for power, trying to kind of focus it internally, the lightning still kind of crackles up and down you. And it does seem to put some of the Guardians on edge a little bit. Sentry, give yourself 2 charges, so regain 2 charges on the Matrix.
Okay.
And when do you want to try and connect with the Guardian matrices, their individual matrices?
Yes, please.
How many would you like to try and connect with?
How many are there again?
There are 8.
8 in total.
4 of them seem to be fairly calm. You see Quill's kind of magic kind of seem to soothe them, and you feel that connection go stronger. Like they are more susceptible to this than anything else.
Okay.
Nice.
I'd like to focus on the big boy, if possible.
Yep. Sure.
And I feel like he's going to be trouble. And maybe one more.
Okay.
Two.
So just the 2, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So the big one is still an aggressive one, by the way. Do you want the other one to be one of the calmer ones or one of the still aggressive ones?
Let's go for one of the calmer ones.
Okay. That's probably the small little one that you saw earlier. Seems to have just kind of slumped down. Okay, let me just bring up the Prime Matrix myself, refresh myself on these brand new rules that I wrote and sent to Ree earlier today. Okay, so just 2 of them, yeah?
Please.
So in an instant, for Sentry, this takes moments. This takes, a few seconds. To the rest of you, it's like a flash of light. You see these 2 golden streams emerge from Sentry's chest and connect to these 2 guardians. One big bruiser, and the other one this kind of smaller, quite vicious looking thing. And the 2 connect, and there is a flash of light. Sentry, I need you to make a charisma ability check. Keep in mind you are exhausted, so that this is going to be at disadvantage. However, because one is calm, I'm going to actually decrease the DC a little bit. So instead of it would normally increase by 2 each, it's going to increase 2 for the aggressive one and 1 for the calm one. So the DC for this is only going to be 9, but you are going to be at disadvantage. So
okay. Is that using my saving throw?
Not saving throw, just charisma. So it's a charisma ability check, not a charisma saving throw.
Okie dokie.
So things like the aura and stuff don't help here. This is purely Sentinel Prime's will and authority to command and to instill these emotions in the Guardians, rather than like you resisting the effect of something.
Okay.
Keep in mind the disadvantage.
11's the lowest.
11's the lowest. So
Perfect.
you feel the connection bond with these 2 Guardians. You sense that there are these tiny embers, these smoldering coals of their sentiences, the sentiences they once had. They're there, just asleep, or just these bare embers. You pull those into the Matrix. You can either refresh those individuals and send them back, or you can send in 2 new sentiences and let those 2 rest for a while.
Let's send in 2 new ones.
Okay.
Let the other 2 rest.
Would you like to send? So for each one, you get to choose. Do you have like an idea of who you would want to go in each one?
Ooh, for the little one.
You don't need to you can just give me like ideas if you want.
Okay.
Because I got a list.
Okay, the little one I'd like to be an artisan.
Yep.
And then the bruiser to be a fighter.
Okay. You watch as you send these 2 things down, and for the rest of you see a flash. The 3 calm guardians don't go anywhere. They just continue standing there docile thanks to the calm emotion spell. The other 3 aggressive ones kind of look around in confusion, and then as Ayla's lightning is kind of still sparking, Archer is like picking up like a club or something nearby, like a piece of debris to wield, and they can see this power. The other 3 kind of just turn and scatter away, basically, knowing that they're now outnumbered as you've kind of locked them down. The 2 guardians, one of which you see, and this may get retconned in the future because I don't have a full list of the visual designs. The little one seems to get, I think they have purple eyes, or like pinkish eyes. I'm desperately trying to find the pictures of them. I'll have to look this up later. If it's wrong, I'll change this. But they kind of have like a kind of like purpley kind of color to them. And their expression seems to go from this kind of snarling little beast to this kind of happy smile, almost kind of like blinks a few times and then stands up a bit straighter, and looks around quite confused and dazed. The other one has a much duller, slower reaction, but its eyes glow blue, and it kind of blinks a few times and then looks around. The little one, a very kind of little hyperactive voice, like, oh, hello there, Sentinel Prime, and kind of gives you a nod.
Hi, welcome back.
I'm trying to think of a voice I would give them, actually. Oh, no problem. And she just kind of nods her head, and you can see it's like a female personality and seems to kind of like bob around. The big one turns and just is like, Sentinel Prime, thank you. This one is ready for combat activities.
It's wonderful to have you back.
It is good to be back. The little one kind of looks around, is like, this place seems to be, it's a bit dreary, isn't it? Just kind of looks around.
Yeah, it's seen better. Very much so.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team, I guess. Yeah, this place, not a safe place to be right now. We are on the move if you are willing to join us for a time.
Well, I'm not sure if I can be much use. And the little one's kind of looking around, like I'm a gardener, really. I tend to vegetable plots and farms and things like that. But I'll try and help any way that I can. And she kind of bounces around and looks around. The big one looks around, picks up 2 huge slabs of like glass, embeds the giant fists into them so they form like crystalline shields, and just kind of brings them close. Barrier is ready.
Barrier, okay, Barrier, you sound like you'll be extremely useful right now. And you, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Pumpkin.
Pumpkin will protect you for now, but you will be very useful in the future, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Nice to meet you both.
Yay! And she just kind of like raises her arms up and like runs around in circles a little bit. I'm useful! Archer looks over and is like, Pumpkin, perhaps it is best if you are quiet for now. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what's the situation with the other feral guardians?
So, well, the three that were aggressive ran away. The other 3 are just stood there. Like, the calm emotion spell makes them docile for like how long, Quill?
I think it's like no, it's not an hour. Oh, 1 minute. Oh, God, okay.
Yeah,
so it probably would have just run
basically.
out.
Lucius is clapping at little Pumpkin. Running around.
She claps back.
Phenomenal. Hello.
Quieter.
Sorry. Tiny clapping. Tiny
claps.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, we're getting a much better understanding of how all this works, but I don't want to alarm anyone. These guys, they're about to get more aggressive again. Hopefully they'll run, but...
Okay. Right,
you want to attempt again
you want me
or
to
move on?
Look intimidating or something? Like, I don't know.
Let's
Barrier's pretty big as well. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
He's going to be stealthy. It's not going to be very stealthy, but that's fine. It's called Barrier. He's a barrier. I love him. I love these. Oh my god.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we should move towards Herald. As much as I'd love to convert everyone, I think maybe we should reserve some of Sentry's energies for Herald.
Yeah, Sentry doesn't look any more tired this time. She looks like she's functioning.
But it took something out of all of us, right?
Yeah.
It took the spell slots and stuff, yeah for sure. Although saying that didn't look like that was necessary for what Sentry did. It did help Sentry. You can see that the Matrix's light is brighter than it was previously.
Right.
For sure.
Cool. Okay, awesome. At least we're learning. We know how to do it now. Kind of, in the future. Better. Without completely wiping out Sentry at the same time. Okay, let's get moving before these guys... I want to say wake up. More anger up. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, with a minute, because this has been like a few seconds, like you can start leaving now and they shouldn't really have cause to pursue if you can kind of get away from them, and they should hopefully just go back to what they were doing before.
Yeah, let's chill for a time.
Sure. All right. You guys begin making off, and you think that with the arcane, with everything else, you think you can now get through this area without too many difficulties. It's taken about 45 minutes or so as you move through the marketplace. You're going to now head north towards the temple. You know that vaguely, Quill, being a messenger, you would kind of remember directions very, very well. That temple where you fought against Herald and Rook, where you met Max and Dana, not Dana, the Durgar woman, that is to the north. You remember it being a large section of the central city, and you can begin making your way there if you'd like.
Yeah, if I know the way. And are we retreading ground now? Places we've been before?
Not
or no?
yet, actually. No, you came in through a slightly different way. You think that you might be sort of a little bit further into the city than when you came in the first time, but you're going in the right direction for sure.
I remember there
the same
being...
question applies. How quickly do you want to move? Do you want to kind of speed things up and just bomb it and risk what might be the case, or do you want to try and go quiet? Barrier does not look like they move very quietly. Pumpkin looks like she could move very quietly. Like, she's small and seems to be very light on her feet.
I mean, we've amassed a small army at this point.
Well, you have 3 people. That's not an army.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I said small. I didn't say how small. I mean, we have 8 people, and one of them is an artisan. So
Hey, you got
army.
one woman army right here. Hells yeah!
Exactly.
I'm up for fights. But then I probably
Yeah, I
shouldn't
think-
fight guardians that Sentry wants to, make her friends. That is a
We'll
good
cross that
point.
bridge when we come to it. This is good.
Someone will need to tell me when to hit and when to just leave.
Pumpkin
Please.
just looks up and says, "Hit things now! I want to see you hit things now!"
I like this. This is encouragement that I like.
Well, let's operate on a whack discipline situation, okay?
That sounds horrendous.
Keep in mind,
But
Chris Trott, I know
okay.
you're flashing those arts up. Those technically might be how they look eventually. That's maybe how they looked before they got put into these new forms.
What do you mean?
So
How is
I don't
that
want to use
art
their
already?
artwork, so
Very well.
the characters and the personalities, and that is, that's eventually what they will look like, or perhaps what they used to. But right now, it's these, and because these are Feral Guardian forms, right? These are old Feral Guardian
They're
bodies, so they're
inhabiting,
rusted,
yeah.
they're broken. Maybe they were built originally for a different purpose to what Sentinel Prime's given them, but Guardians being Guardians will adapt themselves. They'll have new arms, new limbs made. They'll sculpt their own bodies. Even Barry, you can see that they had these like big scooping like construction hands, but they've just dug them into these giant blocks of glass stone, and they're now just using those as shields instead, just like using those in place. So they'll
say-
make adjustments necessarily.
Did you say Barry?
Barry? Yeah,
Barry,
you can call him
yeah.
Barry. You can call him Barry.
Barry.
Right, Barry.
Barry and
Barry the
Pumpkin.
Barrier.
Barry Pumpkin Archer.
Pumpkin.
Cool. I mean, yeah, if like Barry's a big boy. Barry big boy. And
Yeah, he's actually a
Barry-
large creature. He's not medium. He's sort of like 9 feet tall and very big, very wide.
a bombastic big boy. So
Mhm.
Barry, no stealth. From the sounds of things, I guess we may as well move just
At a
go.
fast pace.
Just
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Just move at a fast pace. Sure. It only takes you half an hour then to make your way into the central part of the city. This text is going to get in the way. The temple, you remember it being upon like a long street with all these different alleyways that you remember feral guardians pouring out of when you were here the last time. You actually approached the temple from a different angle this time, coming from the back of the temple. You can see this large glass dome, this statue of Siaska out front, but coming from the side. As you are moving quickly, you don't have time to try and hide. These people are going to become aware of you as you become aware of them. When you emerge in, hearing the sounds of battle echoing around the city of glass, you stumble into a scene. You can see there are slain Gisellan fighters scattered around. Their bodies, some of them have been pasted on the ground, like they've been hit by something immensely strong and flat, just smushed and scraped. Others look like they've been shriveled and energy has pulled out their life forces and things like that. There are also a few, not fresh guardians, but feral guardian bodies that have been destroyed in a similar manner. On the steps leading up into the Temple of Siaska, you see a number of figures still living. And you've seen them before in Horizon. Similar kind of build. Skeletal guardians. All their natural parts, their vines, their flowers, their wood elements have withered away, leaving just metal and stone. You see these red coils of some living tissue have replaced them. Their eyes glow red. 2 of them are bigger than Barrier. They are big creatures, nearly huge in size. They are both got these giant, they have a giant hammer arm and then a scything axe blade, and they lumber up the stairs, and they're trying to break down the front glassy doors that have fused together. They're trying to break into the temple itself. Leading them, you see a much more lithe, agile-looking dominator, a corrupted guardian of Hadar. This one has wings that kind of stretch out from the shoulder blades, and you overhear it like, I'll put a voice on for it. You lumbering oafs! We must get inside the temple. I must seek out the answers to Lord Veracitor's questions. And as you kind of hear this voice, you hear this. There's like a, and then they turn around as you all kind of come head to head, as you come running into this area or kind of moving at a fast pace into this area. This dominator looks over and just its one red eye seems to pulse. Ah, Sentinel Prime, Lord Veracitor will be pleased with your capture. Kill the others! And we will roll initiative. You can see, and actually for Sentinel Prime, you can see that this one, whilst the other two are trying to tear down the doors, this one is hovering over the body of a normal guardian. A guardian that doesn't look feral, looks fairly polished and well kept and looked after. They're big, just like Barrier is. One arm is a big chained flail. It ends in like a big swinging wrecking ball. And you recognize this guardian. You met them long ago in Callie's Rest. They were protecting the other guardians that lived there. This is Smasher, who was once accompanying them. And they are lying on the ground. They're like completely either dead or unconscious. And the Dominator is like looming over it, and you can see red energy kind of pulsing down into its body. But it stops doing that and looks up to engage the rest of you.
Bastards.
I didn't add. Okay, hang on. Give me a second here because I gotta add some stats for. I'm gonna guess that you want Barrier to be part of this.
Hell yeah!
So.
Yes.
Frontline infantry next to Pumpkin.
Well, I mean, sure, okay.
I'm a pretty good strategist. I think it will work.
Throw Pumpkin at them.
Yeah. Right. Let me auto roll for them. Lucius, let's give me some initiative.
I got me a 10.
And Quill.
I got a big nat 1 with a 3.
Oh, Ayla.
I got a 7 because I rolled a 1 and a 2 with advantage.
Oh.
How about Sentry, Sentinel Prime?
I got a 9.
Nova, please tell me you have
crap.
an 8. I'd love it if you have an 8.
I got, I did roll, I got an advantage, but I rolled a 1, but I also rolled a 13, so 16. But also, I just presume that I was still doing Shroud of Shadows. Like, do I get any kind of, like, jump on them or anything like that?
That's true, actually. You would be invisible. They wouldn't know you were there. So, yes, you will have a surprise round, Nova, which is good because you're also first in the initiative. So you basically get 2 turns here.
Oh, that's super cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well remembered.
So Smasher is lying on the ground underneath the flappy Dominator.
Imagine you've got a big open-aired street, and then you have steps leading up to the temple with a big statue of Siaska on the steps, kind of leading up to that. There's not really much cover or anything else around in the street itself. There's alleyways kind of leading off of it. That's where you guys are kind of running from the side of the temple. The Dominator, who does have a name, then maybe they'll yell it at some point so you know it, is crouched over Smash's body. Is crouched over Smash's body on the stairs, so leading up to the front of the temple, and then the 2 huge Dominators are they're stood on the stairs, but they're basically at the door to the temple, smashing it down. Like I said, in terms of D&D sizes, they are huge. So you guys are medium, Barrier and Smasher were large. These guys are huge. These are like a fire giant. These are like a frost giant size.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Holy crap.
The first thing I'd like to do is cast Synaptic Static. It's a 20-foot radius.
Okay.
So can I catch all 3 of them in it?
Sure.
Okay. Please, can you make me an intelligence saving throw for all 3? DC is 18.
It does psychic damage, doesn't it?
Oh, don't say this. Don't say it like that. Why are you saying it like that?
Are there any other effects apart from psychic damage?
8d6 psychic damage, and then on a failed save, a target has muddled thoughts, and there's a bunch of stuff that happens with that.
Okay, so that will go off. Unfortunately, the psychic damage, the synaptic static, when you unleash it, this kind of psychic, mind-bending, disrupting, I guess, not electricity, but like magical power. The psychic damage does nothing to these things. Whatever influence from Hadar seems to protect them or make them immune to such things. But the other effect will technically still take place. So what was it, a wisdom saving throw, or is it intelligence saving throw?
Intelligence 18.
Okay, intelligence 18. The winged dominator does have advantage because of magic resistance, but still fails. And then the other 2, they are not going to pass this. Nope, I'm not. I mean, I'm going to roll, but it's pointless. Yeah, all 3 of them are affected by the secondary effect.
Okay, so you have muddled thoughts for a minute, and during that time, each creature rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. You can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay. Nice.
Whoops.
Loads more rolls for me
Ignore
to
that
do.
roll.
So that
Ignore that
reveals
roll.
you at that point. So you come out, you swipe Tiangong, this kind of burst of energy erupts between them, but they turn and you can see the Dominator kind of holds up its head, just like, what have you done, foolish creature? Soulbreaker will not stand for this injustice! Kill them! And they just basically order the others to attack you. Then it's your go. That was your surprise round. Now you are the top of the initiative.
Okay. Sod it. I'm gonna cast Wall of Light.
The mighty Lord Veracitor will destroy you!
Amazing. Yes.
I'm gonna cast Wall of Light. I want to catch the 2 big boys in it. But knowing that Smasher is there, and obviously we don't know if he's,
Alive
out or not. Can I just basically arc it in a way that it catches the 2 on the stairs, and then the walls go down the stairs, but around Smasher and
Sure.
Skeletor or whatever his
Basically
name
create
is,
like
Soulbreaker.
we'll say that you create like a circle. You just create like a circle around the group,
Yeah.
catching the 2 big
Yeah.
ones. Yep, it's easy.
Yep.
Are we now in an arena with them?
No, this is like a smaller wall around them. They're still sort of, I'd
Them
say,
locked
like
off.
60 feet away from you guys at this point, where you guys kind of met eye to eye and the initiative kicked off. Because you guys weren't moving stealthy, so they knew you, they heard you coming, span around, you've seen them like, oh, fight! But Nova's popped out of invisibility, done this.
Guess we'll
Caught
fight.
caught the 3 of them in like a wall of, like a ring of light, basically, which does hide the Dominator's Soulbreaker and Smash's body from you. The other 2 are so big you can still see them. Like their
above the
faces
wall.
are like out of the wall. They're just their bodies are in it.
They're
Basically,
all
10 feet
within
high,
this
yeah.
thing.
10 feet.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like to their waist, Nova.
Okay.
These things are
Step over it.
Can they make a Constitution saving throw, DC 18, and then obviously you've got all that like fun synaptic static bullshit I just gave you as well?
That's only ability checks and attack rolls, right? Because these guys aren't concentrating on spells, so.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, ability checks.
Okay, so their saving throw is normal. DC 18. The first one is only a 14. It's going to fail. The second one is only a 12. It's going to fail.
Nice.
So I rolled 4d8 of damage. I rolled an 8, 8, 8, and a 4.
Wow.
Nice.
Crikey.
Which is 28 points of radiant damage, and anyone who failed is blinded.
Oh, cannot be blinded. either, unfortunately. But they still take
Well,
the damage. Yeah, they seem to.
Poops.
You can see that they've got multiple gemstones. They seem to have like multiple abilities to sense individuals. They don't seem particularly clever. But they don't seem to rely on normal sight to see enemies. They just turn and begin lumbering in your direction. Probably in like a cool thing, like where their previous garden, because these also, they're so big. Sentry, these could never have been normal guardians. No guardians were ever built that big. This looks like many guardians have been like fused together. So like one guardian is like a leg, one guardian's an arm, but all of like the head has been pulled away, and you can see that it's covered in like areas where its head have been bolted and plated across with metal, and then these red muscular fibers have been stretched between them. So it's like it's very grotesque. It's like a Frankenstein of guardians, basically.
Is it still one matrix?
That's the other thing. You don't see a matrix in these two.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Oh my god!
And if there is,
the
do
other
not
one,
touch it.
the Dominator Soulbreaker, still has a matrix, a red matrix, in the chest cavity, like sentries. These other two don't. They almost look more like golems, you would say. They now resemble just straight up constructs, but they seem to be under some sort of command and sentience, regardless. But the radiant energy of the wall still scorches and sears their legs, and you can see it kind of melting away at parts of their metal plates. They do stumble a moment, Nova, but the blind effect, unfortunately, nothing. We then go to Nova. Do you want to move closer? Are you going to stay with the group at the moment? You guys are on this open street.
I'm gonna move 30 foot away from the group, so if there were any AoEs or anything,
if there's AoEs,
I could
that's
possibly
perfect.
get away. Yeah.
Perfect. Lucius
is going to lob a 5th level vitriolic sphere of acid right in that wall of light, trying to catch them all with a 20-foot sphere.
Sure. Okay.
So that's a dex saving throw of 18 to beat.
Sure. Smasher automatically fails it because they're unconscious on the floor in the middle.
I thought they were behind the wall. I thought Nova created a light that was...
There's the guy, the Dominator, over Smasher, and then the two big guys, and they're inside the wall of light.
Can I not get Smasher that's behind them?
You won't hit the small one, because the Dominator Soulbreaker is on top of his body.
I'm not going to hit Smasher.
Hit the two big guys. You can hit the two big guys by aiming the vitriolic sphere up in the air, right? And then you would just catch those two. You won't hit the small guy.
Both their chests.
Sure. Okay.
DC 18.
Dex saving throw, yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I better roll a 20, otherwise this is a fail. Oh, actually, no, a 19 would succeed as well. That's failure. Both of them, this acid just sprays all over their chests.
12d4. Here we go. And all ones are twos.
Oh, that's a lot of ones.
I'm just going to wait for you to tell me the new
31 acid.
31 damage each.
That's a lot of ones. Jeez. And
But they
Dichromancy...
take extra damage on their turn as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, on the next turn. I'll remember that for you. And...
Lovely.
An extra 10 points of Dichromancy to one of them, please, on the left.
Sure. I was going to say, you can't see the Dominator, unfortunately. He's hidden by the wall of light now, but you can hit one of the big guys. So you watch as this acid sprays over their chest, begins melting away sections of these guardian bodies that have been fused together, dripping puddles of liquid metal down to the ground. Any movement, Lucius, or do you want to stay with the group? At the moment, I'm considering that the group is all bunched up apart from Nova, who's separated.
I'm going to spread out a little bit, so be with the group, but like 10, 15 feet away from the closest person.
It's 10 or 15, you tell me.
15.
15, okay. It's very important for an AoE. Very important.
It is.
Sentry. They're about 60 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
And the wall of light is now between you and Soulbreaker and Smasher's body.
Okay, I'm gonna use my charge and cast Sunbeam towards one of the golems.
So we just look up and the golden matrix, whoop, Iron Man beam.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool.
Con
What do I need to
save,
do?
please.
A con save was that?
Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
16 to beat.
9. I'm rolling terribly. I have a +6 to this.
68 radiant damage.
And this is, you can keep doing this as well, because the beam
Yeah.
continues.
Here it comes. 26.
I mean, where the acid has already begun to weaken them and where the wall of light has scorched their legs, this beam now carves a line, a glowing hot line across their chest as it kind of stumbles around trying to deal with this new attack. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good
and
roll.
Then I think I'll stay with the group for now.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that'll be my turn. TY.
All right. Cool. I really need Chris Trott to come back because it's the 2 giant Titan, Titan Dominator's turns next, and I don't know how much damage his acid thing does.
Are they close to dead?
Don't-
I mean, damage matters, right?
Yeah. Let's say it just did 60 damage, and we'll move on with our lives.
Oh. I'm just going to
What
look
was
up.
it?
How about
Acid
this?
splash?
I'll look up the spell, and then Tom Hazel,
back.
you can roll 5d4 acid damage for me.
He's
There you
back.
go. Trish Trott.
He's back.
5d4 acid damage, please.
You want me to roll it or take it?
Well, it's you rolling it. It's
Okay.
your vitriolic sphere against these 2 big things, which are about to go next.
Rolling. That is a 14.
14 points of damage. Perfect. To each of them.
On 4d4. That's
Four.
great.
The acid is melting away, and these 2 things come charging at the group. Now, Nova, is there any effect on Wall of Light? I think it's if they end their
Only-
turn there, isn't it?
Yeah, only if they finish there.
Yeah. So these 2 things stomp. They come for the group. Their movement gets them to about 10 feet in front of the group. And one of them turns to face more towards Lucius. One of them turns towards to face the entire group. The one that faces the group, so Nova's currently the only one who's separated enough away that these 2 things aren't attacking her. The first one against everybody except Nova, it swings this giant axe hand in like a big arcing swing that's going to catch everybody. I need you to make dexterity
Everyone.
saving throws. Everybody
And
but
this was
Nova.
me.
Don't forget to do your cute little roll a d6 and subtract it from your attack roll.
This is not an attack roll. This is a dexterity saving throw, so it doesn't apply on this because it's such
Cool.
a wide swing. Like it's more about them dodging than this one being accurate.
21.
Get +3.
Oh yeah, plus 3.
24.
I got where was it? I got 17.
6.
Okay.
17. 6 for Lucius. Sentry.
15.
15. Okay, if you got lower than 17, you're taking full damage. If you got higher than 17, you're taking half. For the sake of preserving NPCs, Archer and Pumpkin both jump behind Barrier, who implants the giant big slabs of crystal in the ground, and the whole, like, he basically protects the 2 behind him. And he's not going to protect you guys. Like, he protects the other 2 Guardians.
Yeah. I thought Lucius was too far away.
So this, well, no, he moved 15 feet away. This thing stands about 55 feet, like 50 feet, and its swing is like 15-foot arc. It like is a crescent moon that just. This thing is huge. Like
Lord!
It's like 20 foot tall. Its arms are like as long as its body, and it just swings this like giant axe blade.
Gosh above.
God above. So 24 damage to those who took full, 12 damage to those who took half. For once, Ayla, you're not raging yet, so no half damage this time. Normally
I
you're
can't
like
believe I
top
rolled
of
a
the
1 and a
initiative.
2 on my initiative.
Yeah,
With
that's crazy.
Sucks.
And then I think the other one is going to do the exact same thing. These are recharge abilities, but so it's a dex save from everybody again.
Oh god,
Okie
we're already
dokie.
Except
entering
Nova,
the
Who
mixer.
gets away?
While they're doing that, don't forget you can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each of their turns to end the synaptic
These
sag
things physically
before
cannot
they-
succeed the saving throw. They physically can't succeed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
They have a -4 to their intelligence. They cannot.
Oh.
Oh, in which case it can't be affected by the spell. So A creature with an intelligence score of 2 or lower cannot be infected.
Oh, it's
by
okay.
this
Its
spell.
intelligence is 3.
Hey!
Oh, okay.
It just can't
Cool.
succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intellect is 3.
Perfect
It's enough
storm.
that it can be basically sentient, but yeah. So who got lower than 17 on the second saving throw?
I didn't this time. Oh no.
What's the face?
Why is that
Max.
not showing up in the thing? I don't understand why they didn't show up. I rolled all 8s, by the way. I rolled 3d8s and got 3 8s. So if you got less than 17, it's 30 points of damage. If you got higher than 17, it's 15 points of damage. 17 or higher.
Okay.
So these two things just swing these giant axe blades like 2 huge pendulums that just, and you guys throw yourselves to the ground. The 2 crystal slabs that Barrier was using shatter. They just break entirely, and Barrier's protected the other 2 for now. He can't do that again. Like, that's it for this round.
It's like Sen's Fortress up in this bitch.
Yeah. Barrier turns, grabs the other 2. Sentinel Prime, I will protect these 2, and then just basically runs the other 2 away. Pumpkin is like kind of like screaming and stuff, and then just like a quarterback carries them away from this battle.
Excellent.
Ayla.
Hello, I'd like to rage, please. And how far in front of me is this one of these nerds?
They're like 10, 15 feet in front of you.
Cool. Okay. And is other small dude, is he still over the body?
You can't see. So Nova's wall of light encapsulates around them. So you just see this ring of light, basically. You don't know what's going on inside there. And that's like 60 feet away. Through the barrier.
Okay. Can I, 60 feet, use a charge on the old hammer
Yep.
to jump to that little shit and
You can certainly
push
try.
him and smack him off of Smasher's body?
Yeah, I'd say you can. I think that one of these big things would get an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay.
Okay.
I want
So
to
I've got-
try and assess
Sure.
him.
Sure. All right. Well, Kim, can you roll a d6 for me then, please, to minus from the attack roll? Time to yump.
6.
So,
Yump.
oh, wow. So minus 6 to the attack roll. So a plus 3. I was hoping if I got a natural 20 then. So that's only going to be a 14. So this thing swings its giant hammer. And as a point, if that thing had hit you, I mean, you probably would have made the saving throw, but if it had knocked you prone, I would have just had you literally fall out the sky. But you kind of push your hammer and knock it to the side as you Hulk jump. After a few steps, you Hulk jump your way, landing in the middle of the ring. When you land, you can see that the Dominator is not doing anything to Root's body anymore. It looks like he is preparing himself to come and fight, basically, as you land.
Okay. I'll hit him.
A foolish living thing.
I'll hit him twice. Please.
That's I said it so that you could be like, I smashed him in the face.
19 to hit.
19 to hit. He will cast Shield to boost his AC to
Bastard.
20.
What a nerd!
So you see him like hold up a forearm and like
Okay,
this barrier of force.
25.
That hits. He can't do anything
Oh
about
my
that.
god.
And a dex save, please.
Oh, yeah. I'm rolling so badly today. Failure on the dex save, by the way.
14 points of damage from the hammer, and then 16 points of lightning damage.
16 points of lightning damage. Ouch. Okay. So when you land this thing, you swing the hammer, but you feel a similar sensation to when you fought these Dominators before. It feels like gravity around this thing is like pressing down on you, Ayla, and you feel your movements become sluggish and slowed. Your movement speed is reduced by 20 feet while you are within this thing's aura.
Can I make sure that I'm standing between him and Smasher?
Sure, you're kind of standing over Smasher's body then in that point. So like you're stood on Smasher basically, because he was big. He's a big lad. So you're kind of stood on top of Smasher's chest when you swing the hammer down. He blocks the first one with his barrier, and then the second one catches him and blasts him with lightning. Ah!
And in the messenger ring, I'll just say, Smasher's okay, but I need someone to come over here and help him. I'll keep this guy busy. Okay. Yeah.
All right. At that point, the Dominator will look and say, I have no time to deal with the likes of you. The wings kind of extend, and he is going to fly up into the air with a burst of red energy.
Can I attack him?
Get an attack. You can get an opportunity attack, yeah.
That is a 12 plus 25.
25 hits, yep, even with the shield.
19 damage.
19 points of damage. A heavy blow, but he still manages to fly up diagonally away from you as you just watch him kind of rocket up on red energy. He flies about 60 feet diagonally to above the rest of the team, and then he will look down. Sentinel Prime, I will enjoy taking your head to Lord Veracitor along with the Prime Matrix. And then we'll cast Chain Lightning down on probably Sentinel Prime as their initial target. 3 bolts then leap from the target to as many as 3 other targets. So that are within 30 feet. Ooh. So we'll make Nova, Lucius, and Quill those targets.
Damn it.
And that's everybody make a dex saving throw, please.
Cool, so plus
Ayla's
3.
the lightning rod sentry. Ayla.
Sorry, my bad. But Sentry will be able to help, right? Because she's all spell stuff.
Oh, I mean, she can, but not against these rolls.
Would Quill have damage resistance as well as
Fried
me?
Quill.
I do have +3, but like...
Yes, you two would, but the others won't because they're outside your aura.
Okay. Dex save 13.
Nova, you're making a very sad face, and I've seen the others' rolls.
I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10. Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
All of you would normally take full damage. Sentry and Quill, because this is a spell, and Sentry has her aura. It's going to be half damage for you guys, but Lucius and Nova are both going to take full damage here as lightning blasts everybody. 53 lightning damage.
Oh!
So there's a couple of things. Lucius falls unconscious.
Hold on. He falls unconscious, and then Tiangong, safety protocol activated. Vroom, back up to 1.
Shield kind of manages to save him at 1 hit point. Is that a reaction to use, Nova, or is it just a thing that goes off?
It just happens. Like, it just...
It's not automatic, whoever goes down first.
Yeah, it's automatic.
Yeah, it's whoever goes down
in that case,
first.
that's fine. Is it interesting? Because I was thinking, like, oh, what if multiple people went down at the same time? But, Lucius, you stand there smoldering and smoking, like, you know, your body electrified. Nova, you need to make a concentration check for Wall of Light.
Yep.
The DC is 26.
Oh. I rolled a 12.
Total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait, it's plus con, isn't it?
Yeah.
16.
Is your con
16.
14?
Yeah. No. In that case, it's a failure. As you are blasted by the lightning, the wall of light, Ayla, around you drops. Yeah, you just see it kind of... I'm assuming wall of light is concentration, Nova.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way I could... You said it was 25, right? I don't think there was any way I could... 26. I couldn't have saved... There was no way I could have saved with that. Like, yeah.
It's like big damage. You can't really do much. If you'd been next to Sentry, because Sentry gives you a bonus to the saving throw, so you might have been able to.
If I roll a natural 20...
Sentry and Quill, that's 26 damage to you guys, halved, so...
Yeah, it is.
Damn it! If I was there, I could have halved that, but
Yep.
no, only within 10 feet, so I couldn't have done it for everyone anyway.
Yep. That's
wouldn't
why
have
this
been
guy
possible.
definitely did it. Now, technically, he didn't reduce a creature to 0 hit points because Nova saved him.
No! That blast should have killed your foul little sorcerer. What magic is this?
He's very unhappy about that.
I should be dead.
It's the magic
Well,
of
I wish I was.
friendship.
I wish I was dead.
Cool. I was going to do the old classic cleric in an MMO opening of guiding light, whatever it's called, but instead I've got to do. I have no. The other one. I've got to do a mass cure wounds. So within 60 feet is Ayla within 60 and Smasher.
Just
for that matter.
Just. Smasher would technically be in
Smasher.
60 feet. Yep.
It's up to 6 creatures. Yeah, that works. That's everyone.
Okay.
So that is going to be an amount of dice that I don't know. There it is, 4d8 plus 6. 4d8 plus 6.
It's like his own spell. I don't know what he was expecting.
Not bad. 18 plus 6, 24 for everybody.
24 for everybody.
Nice.
Ayla, you see... I guess I didn't roll saving throws for him. Okay, you can see that the injuries that Smasher sustained, a lot of them are you see the matrix begin to flicker. Smasher's legs look crippled. It looks like one of those big things maybe like stamped on his legs. So you see like the chest flicker and he kind of like manages to turn his head. Danger. Threat. Danger. Waiting. Sentinel Prime.
He's
Message.
up. She's here. Sentinel Prime's here. She's here.
Liver.
I'll be with you. Be with you soon. Just gonna
Protect.
go and do
Sweep.
Smasher.
Sweep. Inside.
Stay.
Temple.
Oh.
And that is where we're going to take
sentry?
a break. Break time.
Awesome.
Everybody break time.
Awesome. Just before
Everybody break
that,
time.
I also wanted to, as a bonus action, I've been messing this up before, bonus action,
Sure.
cast my Phantom thing as well, my Elder Quill.
Okay.
There you go. Boom.
Easy done.
Cool.
Perfect. Awesome.
Cool.
Love it. Lucius almost died.
By Elder Quill, you mean like just a year older? 'Cause that's about as old as you get.
Wearing a white
No,
shirt
it could be
and
like
a
5
tie.
years.
He's got a name tag and he's carrying a book. And he knocks on
he's
your
got a
doors.
job.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like, hello.
My name
Hello.
is Elder Quill.
Ding dong.
I would like to share with you the most amazing book. Esper. God of
Oh God, yes, I've
magic.
got the Wayfinder's Guide.
There you go. There's
By
some
A.
fan art
Plumbus.
for you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh,
Book of
amazing.
Quill.
Book about
Nice.
A
All right.
Plumbus.
We're going to take a quick break so that people can get drinks and cool off a little bit.
Yeah.
And in fact, Tom, because I'm always conscious of you not getting a break. If you do want to quickly just drop away and grab a drink, and we can just read all the messages at the end.
I'll do it after. That's all right.
Okay. All right. Sure. All right. I'm
can read some
gonna
now.
definitely go and get more drink.
Wonderful. Hey, everyone. It's me. This time I'm reading donations in... Give me a second. I had this prepared earlier, but I messed it up. In slightly more dramatic lighting. I don't know why. We had a donation from Newty Boy. This was after the Curse of Strahd stream the other day, but no spoilers. I'm going to read it anyway. In Mud and Cream, the Memer's Dream. I read that wrong. The final session, or so it would seem. Timothy, read my crap with tired eyes, but it's all because we love you guys. Love from the word hole. There you go. That was about the final episode of Curse of Strahd. If you haven't watched it, definitely do. It was amazing. Sheedy Stuff has donated a triple quarter hundo, $75 dues. Thank you very much. This was a message here. Sheedy Stuff says, first time watching Aerois live and looking forward to it. Welcome. Big Critical Role fans and found Mark through them, but took life being put on hold to make time to watch all of you. You're now a critical part of our schedule too. Thank you very much. Big donation. Why are these lights not working? Big donation. Ding, ding, ding. I'm going to stop playing with that. Of the Dell, $30 dues. Thank you very much. Viewer since the very beginning and have fond memories of revising for my A levels while watching High Rollers. It's very hot today, guys. It's very hot. I think I'm dying. Yesterday, I turned 22. Happy birthday, and wanted to give you something for all the wonderful moments that you guys have created over the past 5 years. Thank you. Thank you, of the Dell. Thank you very much. Cheesecat147. I happened to find y'all in the week leading up to the first episode of Aerois, and I'm so glad I did. You all have helped me through high school and into my dream university. Congratulations. Thank you so much for everything you do. Clear skies. Thank you very much, Cheesecat. Cheesecat, not cheesecake. Mellifluous Tea. I'm pretty sure that's what is on the screen, and I'm not going blind from the heat. Mellifluous Tea has donated. Thank you very much. Watched from episode 50 to current in a couple of weeks, and wow, what a ride. What was episode 50? I can't remember. But yeah, a lot has happened. Especially, well, I mean, that was like 100 and... it was like 60 episodes ago. My brain, it's mush. Joining Live Squad today. Live Squad, welcome. Also, hi Tom, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. The Harley Evans has donated with, boy, I can't wait to see the new spin-off series, Mighty Morphin Dominators, coming soon. Love you guys. Keep up the awesome work. And Crispy with a $500. As always, very generous, Crispy. Love the use of the community's OC Guardians in this week's episode. A shout out to the fantastic artists of the High Rollers community and their wonderful creations. Yes, indeedy. Mark,
not just artists.
Explain that?
Yeah, not just artists, just the Discord and the community in general. We noticed that after the last episodes, I think it was the revelation that the spirits of the Matrix are constantly watching what Sentry's doing, and so people were like, "That's us. We're the Guardians." A bunch of people went on to draw them like their Guardian OCs, their characters. People that can't draw just kind of wrote up cool stuff or made miniatures to kind of represent them, and just came up with like cool personas for Guardians. And then I was just like, man, coming up with all the Guardians that Sentry's going to bring back, I'm going to have to come up with oh, no, wait, I don't need to. Here's a great, amazing list of them that we can just put in. And now people can have like a little, and if it's not 100% right, or if I get things wrong, you're like, oh, I don't think this is what my guy would sound like, or my person would sound like, well, then maybe it's a different one. Guardians can have similar names and stuff, but I just thought it was like a nice little way of sort of a little nod to the community, basically. And speaking of, Pumpkin, the Guardian, has gold eyes. They have like gold amber eyes. I was desperately trying to find art of them because I couldn't remember what color they were. So
there is a Twitter account that's been created that's collating all of them as well.
Yeah,
so I'll link that in Twitch chat, and I'll link that in the YouTube video description that nobody ever reads. If you want to check out.
I think Pumpkin and Kirsten have both been doing a lot of that stuff, I think. So I know Pumpkin did the Twitter account, and Kirsten's helping sort of collate a lot of it on the subreddit, on the Discord. So very, very cool. Very, very cool little thing. And it's going to depend on, Rhiannon. I always ask Rhiannon, what kind of Guardian do you want it to be? And then I'll pick from the list, basically. I need to make like a little spreadsheet of them all. In fact, what I'll do is I'll probably share it with Rhi, and then Rhi can just decide and just be like, I want this one to be blah, blah, blah. And then we can decide from there.
That'd be cool.
Lovely little thing. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Cool. Hey, Chris Trott, man, is there like a D&D website tool out there that people could use that sponsor our show that you want to talk about?
Don't think so. Unless you're talking about the best digital tool set for D&D 5th edition, D&D Beyond, which is in the bottom left corner. You should definitely check our specific link, to sign up for it. And there are 2 new books coming that were announced on D&D Live, available for pre-order on D&D Beyond, with extra bonuses as they always do, including character sheet customizations and the encounter builder integrations, that sort of thing.
Digital dice.
Yep, digital dice. So one of them involves witches and one involves dragons, and they're both very popular themes. So maybe get on board and get pre-ordering. And if you have
and then for anybody joining, go on.
Sorry, if you have the subscription to it, the master subscription, you'll add them all in anyway. So you get all the new source books as part of your subscription.
Yeah, if you get the legendary bundle, I think it's called, or something. The other thing, if you didn't join us at the beginning of the stream, we've got 2 very cool sponsored bonus contents coming up soon. First one is on Tuesday at 8 p.m. here on High Rollers D&D Twitch and on the Yogscast, where we're going to be playing through the Steam-forged Animal Adventures Faraway Sea one-shot adventure. We're going to be playing it in person around a table with miniatures, awesome Steam-forged miniatures and battle maps provided to us. So come and check that out on Tuesday. That's going to be live. And then also on the 29th of July, that's not this Thursday coming, but the following Thursday, we will be starting a 2-part series playing through the brand new Avatar Legends, Avatar The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra role-playing game.
So
come and check that out.
Earth,
Right.
fire,
We got
farts, piss.
farts. Everything changed when Valkyrian attacked. Anyway, we got everyone back. We're going to jump back in to the top of the round of this combat. As a quick reminder, outside the Temple to Siaska in the City of Glass, where once the party fought against Herald and Rook, they have now returned, hoping to find some sign of Herald in their search for them. They have encountered one of the Hadar corrupted guardians that have renamed themselves as Dominators, along with 2 hulking constructs, seemingly doing something to an old ally, Smasher, a fellow guardian. However, engaging in combat, a battle has ensued, and already powerful spells have been slung and attacks have been made, and we go back up to the top with Nova Vija. Followed by Lucius. So, Lucius, you're on deck afterwards.
Oh, God. Spilt water on my notebook. I am going to... my wall of light's gone.
Dominator.
Oh, why does that make me feel the way I feel? Oh.
If you consume the energy of the Dominators, Dominators, you will go on my first whistle. Means nothing to anybody that did not grow up in the United Kingdom in the 90s.
Dominators, ready!
Ready! Anyway.
Gladiators!
Literally means nothing. US people are like, is that meant to be American gladiators? It's like, well, we just called it gladiators, all right?
Some kind of joke?
Nice. Anyway.
Thanks for letting me think a bit more. So in front of me, there's the 2 big boys, right? And then
yes.
Soulbreaker is up in the sky.
Yes, so you have moved about 30 feet away from the Sentry and Quill, and Lucius has moved a little bit further away now. The 2 big lads are next to them. They're 30 feet away from you. The 2 big lads aren't they're not in range of you. You can move around, no opportunity attacks or anything like that. The Dominator Soulbreaker is about 60 feet up in the air. Yeah, he kind of 60-foot diagonal flight, and is now basically above Sentry.
Okay. I will...
One thing I
Blast.
forgot, Sentry, can you just check if Sunbeam is concentration, and then when Nova's finished, we'll make a roll for that, by the way.
Okay.
Go on, Nova.
I'm going to do a straight-up Eldritch Blasteroo.
Classic.
Yeah, classic. I'm going to blast it on the Dominator Soulbreaker.
Soulbreaker.
First one is a 15 to hit.
Oh, that will hit. I'm going to have to shield that one as well. So,
okay.
So yeah, it's going to boost his AC to 20. So again, a kind of barrier of force.
25 to hit.
That will hit.
Which is 11 points of force damage.
11. Yep, force damage. Excellent.
And then I rolled 28 to hit. 10 points of force
AC was
damage.
boosted to 20. 10 points. So these 2 beams, the first one gets deflected off this magical barrier, and then the next 2 kind of connect in, wretched mortal. Shakes his fist.
And then can I just use my movement to move a little bit further away from the ground units, just in case they do another big sweepy attack?
How much about 30 feet away from the others at the minute.
let's say like 15 more feet back.
All right, so you're 45 feet away from Sentry and the crew.
Yes.
Sure. All right. Lucius. And then
hate it when you
Sentry
say that.
followed. Well, it was very relevant. I asked how much before. You said 30 feet, and I had to check for the spell.
Lucius
Sentry
is going
needs to make her concentration check.
She does.
Yeah.
They're currently having a conversation.
I got it. That's a 1.
Oh,
So
no,
sunbeam.
no.
So the sunbeam in the chest fades down, unfortunately, after taking that big lightning blast.
Yeah.
All right, Lucius.
Lucius, smoldering from the previous insane blast, is gonna like jog away from everybody else so that he's 40 feet away from the closest person.
So, unfortunately for Lucius, and this, again, you can still do that, but these two big lads who moved up, you had separated from the group, but these guys have
they're
reach
right up
on
on
their
my grill.
weapons.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're like 15 feet away from you, but they have reach, so they can still hit you, so they would get an opportunity attack. One of them would.
I'm going to spend my action to disengage
Perfect. All right,
and
in
move
that case,
away.
yeah. Sure.
I'm going to use... Oh, I don't have it anymore. I thought I had Quicken Spell, but I do not have that as a meta
You
magic.
changed it, did you?
I did. Be careful.
Well, you can.
which
Do you want to
one.
not disengage then? Because you thought you had something.
No,
that
I'm
you
going to
didn't-
disengage because I think
All right.
it's just
Okay.
going to knock me out. So I'm going to
All right.
disengage.
So you just start running off, like to the
Yeah.
side, like, oh, get away.
I'm going to point it over and think, good idea.
Cool. Coughing and spluttering. All right.
Thumbs
In
up.
that case, we go Sentry.
Alrighty. I'm going to cast Enlarge. And I'm going to say to Soulbreaker, your greed will be the end of you, you parasite. If you want me, come and get me.
Can you make
Damn.
an intimidate check for me? Because I just want to see how much of a taunt this, like, if he's like enraged by this. It's like, ah!
17?
Sure. Yeah, I'd say that's enough.
You moralizing, inept. I will kill you for Lord Veracitor.
Turns their attention completely on you. You could see he was looking at Lucius, injured as Lucius was, and was like, and like now that you've said that, you called him a parasite. He's like, ah.
Parasite's a good
Lucius,
term.
Lucius, so.
He
Correct.
called you moralizing, which is a weird insult.
Withering.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just going to move a little bit out of the way of the giant boys for a minute.
They will get an opportunity attack if you move.
One of them has
Also,
already
Quill
used
is
their
next to you.
reaction.
You would be
In that
leading
case,
Quill.
no, I'll stay where I am. Yeah, I'll stay planted.
These
I'll wait
guys
for them.
haven't yet, Quill. The main
No,
guy
they did on Ayla.
That
she
was.
jumped.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, one of them did. Yeah, that was the.
Which reminds me, so I didn't actually use my movement on my last turn because we went for a break. I did want to move away from that dude as well, if that helps. I know
Okay.
that was like a million turns ago, but
Well, so you have the problem in that there are
would attack.
two besides you. Only
oh,
one
so
took the opportunity.
one
attack.
would still.
So, yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
one would still have the opportunity attack, which is the one threatening Lucius.
Cool. Back
So
to
imagine
Sentry.
they're like stood next to each other, but they're so big that they cover a huge fucking area, basically, because
Cool.
they've both got reach.
Yeah.
So, Sentry, did you want to move? Sorry, back to the task.
No, I'll
at hand.
stay
yeah.
planted. I'll wait for
So
Soulbreaker
stay planted
to come
next to.
me.
You've got these two guys in front of you, Dominator above you, and then Quill behind you.
Yeah.
All right. So no movement. Action.
That was my action was to go big.
Oh. You go big. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
The two big boys. Oof. These guys are pretty dumb, and the big guy hasn't really given orders. So I think, yeah, they're gonna direct their attacks at the two nearest to them, which is Sentry and Quill. Nova, can you roll a d6 for me? We'll just have that.
Right, I'll protect
I
you.
rolled a 6 again.
6 again. Okay. All right. So you're going to protect Quill. Did you just say, Sentry?
Yeah, for the
With your
first one.
reaction?
Yeah.
All right. So
Sweet,
first
thank you.
attack against Quill is going to have disadvantage, and it's only at a +3.
Oh,
So that's 13 to hit.
it doesn't. Oh, it was close.
Oh,
though.
actually, that wasn't even with the disadvantage. I forgot. It would be 14 to hit. So yeah, the 13 would have been the one. So it doesn't hit.
Perfect. The 14
then
would have.
Then it brings its axe hand down.
Axe hand.
6, I think, is going to be a failure. Yep. So Sentry manages to deflect the first one, and then the second one, you can see that whatever Nova did, its aiming is off, and the axe just slams into the ground beside you, kind of disrupting its targeting or something like that. The second one is going to attempt to hit Sentry. It still has the minus to hit, but it does not have disadvantage, for a total of 20 to hit on the first attack.
Doesn't hit.
Just managed to, with Helios's cloak kind of wrapped around you, you managed to deflect this giant hammer hand. It should normally squash you flat, but you managed to brush it aside. And the second one as well. And then with Her Majesty's Rose, you just kind of parry it away from these giant lumbering things. Whatever Nova did, very, very useful, as both of those would have struck otherwise. And these look strong, these two. That's all they can do. They can't do anything else. Oh, can actually... Nova, roll another d6 for me. I doubt you're going to get another 6, so let's see.
3.
Yeah, okay. No recharge on their sweeping attack. Ayla, you are now 60 feet away from everyone else as you jumped and he ran away.
Yeah, he ran away. That's screwed it. So I guess I'll just have to run back.
So just dash back.
I'll run 45 feet so that I'm kind of, I guess I'm kind of now separated from, we're all kind of dotted around them now,
So
I
imagine
think.
like you're behind the two big guys, so like Sentry and Quill are like in front of them, and you're now 15 feet behind them.
Yeah.
Aren't these guys huge?
And
They are. So actually, yeah, you'd probably be with about like 5 feet of range to start attacking them. Yeah, because they're going to occupy
I attack them?
2 or 3 spaces. I'd say yes, sure. For like we're doing this theater of the mind. We don't have a grid to measure it exactly. You can hit them. If they can hit like Lucius and stuff with their sweeping attacks, you can hit them. That's a good point, Cool, because I forgot that if we were playing with miniatures, their base would occupy like a square of 9, so it makes sense that Ayla would be able to hit.
45 feet is exactly what you needed, actually.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
as I'm running towards them in messenger ring, I'll say sweeps in the building, just to the group.
Okay.
That is a 2 plus 11. No, plus 13.
That is not going to hit. Unfortunately,
15.
their thick armor of these thick armor of these giant Titan-esque dominators. It just the hammer.
Having a bad night.
First attack.
Having a bad night.
Hey, you had some fucking great weeks. So,
I know.
Yeah.
This is my 23 to hit on the second one.
That will hit, definitely.
Okay. That is going to be 17 with the hammer and a dex save.
Yes, I should roll it in case I roll a 20. Nope, it's fail.
19 lightning damage.
Man, your lightning damage does as much damage.
I rolled
as
a
your
6,
actual
a 5,
now.
a 4, and plus 4 con because of my hammer.
The hammer slams into this thing, and lightning arcs up its leg, and you see its like body begin to jostle and twist as the lightning runs through it. Still standing, but you can see it is smoldering. Whatever kind of these red muscle fibers, many of them look scorched and burnt, and it's barely still standing.
Cool. That is my turn.
Okay.
My turn.
My turn. I was thinking the same thing.
My turn.
My turn.
Ooh. That's very fitting for this guy. So you see Soulbreaker's on Soulbreaker's turn. It looks over, seeing it's pissed at Sentry, but it notices this giant Titan, like nearly destroyed by Ayla.
Useless hunk of junk! I shall turn your energy to my advantage, and then I shall destroy Sentinel Prime.
And it's going to turn around, and it plunges its clawed hand into the thing, and you watch as red energy just begins sucking up out of its hand. The giant Titan dies. Technically, I have to make an advantage, but it would... Yep, that's a hit. And then...
I mean, would the other thing be willing?
It's not even willing. Nah, it's not willing, but it's enough to kill it, which means that Stormbreaker gets some temporary hit points.
Oh, damn.
A substantial amount of them as the powerful energies of this thing that created this Titan, it just drains them away. The giant Titan collapses, and you see Soulbreaker just like laughing maniacally. But that is his turn.
Shit.
Quill.
Hell of a turn. I would like to banish the other one.
The big
one.
lad?
The big lad. And I'm curious, because it says that if he's native to this plane of existence, then something happens and blah, blah, blah. Would this thing, with its Hadar influence, still be native to this plane of existence?
We don't know. Let's find out. See if
Who
the spell
knows? Well, it needs to make a charisma save. 21.
Oh.
How charismatic are these guys?
Charisma, is it?
Yeah. How charismatic?
Physically can't succeed on the saving throw with a -5 to your saving throw. So,
All right.
12 -5, that's a 7.
I mean, can it roll a 26 on a d20?
No, it can't.
Okay.
With a kind of a sweeping gust of wind and feathers, you watch as this giant
huge.
thing just fades into nothing. As a point of reference, Quill, technically it is native to Aerois, because the things that made it a native here.
Sure, okay.
The influence, it seems to be some sort of power source or internal. It'd be like banishing a warlock, right? The warlock wouldn't go to its patron's plane. It would stay on its own plane, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just imagined it as like the Matrix being like the soul and energy of a Guardian. What if the Matrix
doesn't
was
have a
Hadar?
matrix, though.
Well, it
Oh,
doesn't
good point.
have one as well. Yeah, it's more of a construct. So unfortunately, it is going to have the effect of banishment. So a minute, as long as you concentrate, it's gone.
Hey, that's a minute. That's 10 turns.
I mean, yeah, it's basically out of the fight at this point, and then you can all just wail on it when it reappears.
Yeah, and as a bonus action, I'll also recover a 3rd level spell slot too. And again, I will
Channel
stick
Divinity.
to Sentry.
Okay, Nova Vija, we go back up to the top.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go return to blasting with Eldritch Blast.
Blasting Soulbreaker.
Blasting! First attack. Ooh, there's an 18 to hit.
It is going to hit, and he no longer has any shield charges.
Sweet. That is 9 points of force damage.
Ah,
It rolled to a 20 and then back to an 18. But 28 to hit.
Still going to hit. Yep, it's still going to hit.
And that is 10 points of damage.
Points. Lucius, you're after this, by the way, then Sentry.
I rolled an 18 again, so that's 28 to hit, and that is 11 points of damage.
Nova on fire today. Bam, bam, bam. All of that, you see most of that energy that Soulbreaker stole from the Titan, its own ally. It's blasted away. You can see that like the energy kind of powering it, like parts of his armor and stuff are blown away. As it kind of stumbles around in the air, barely able to keep flying as these 3 blasts from Tiangong knock it away. Anything else, Nova?
That's it for me.
Lucius, then Sentry.
I'll throw a chromatic orb its way,
Sure.
and it's going to be 23 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Ding dong.
What kind of damage?
This is acid.
Okay.
Sorry. 27. Let me just double check. It is 27.
Yep, please do.
28, Mark.
28.
28.
8 points of damage.
28.
A huge hit. The acid orb flies up, completely coating Soulbreaker. It's like crying out in pain as like parts of its fingers begin melting off and things like that from the acid goop.
And I'll throw 9 points of dichromancy on top of that.
Yeah. Bam, bam. A kind of blade of orange strikes up. Anything else, Lucius, on your turn?
Oh, that's everything.
Sentry.
Actually, I'm going to do some spell slot switchings.
Sure. Do that in your turn. Yeah, I trust you. Sentry.
Cool.
I don't.
So where is Soulbreaker right now?
Still 60 feet up in the air
Still
above
60
you.
feet. Cool. So if I were to jump and then Misty
You are
step
large,
up-
so you're at least 10 feet, so he's 50 feet above you.
Okay.
Do you
So-
something?
No.
No.
Less concentration on it, remember?
If I were
Can I
to
throw
jump and then
sentry?
Misty step 30
Probably
feet
couldn't.
up, could I get to him?
Yes, you could. You
Oh
can
my
make 2
God.
attacks mid-air. You will then fall 50 feet down.
Worth it. Let's do it.
Worth it.
Yes,
Love it.
Sentry!
Suplex him.
Alright,
This
so
is, hang on, I just want to point out how anime Naruto Ri is being right now, because it's like jumping up, teleporting midair, 2 attacks, and then dropping down to the ground. Like, it's like, I can almost imagine the sword strikes, like,
Yeah.
swing.
Or
She's not even pulling the
could I-
sword out. She's kind of doing like the sort of samurai thing.
Could I Misty Step up, grab him, and then bring him down to ground level?
Yes! Oh my
You may
god!
You may certainly try. It
Oh,
would
no,
be
I
a
hope
strength
it's
check.
worth it.
It'd be straight.
Yeah.
It'd be opposed strength checks, of which you would add an extra d4 because you're large, and you would have advantage.
Let's do it. Let's bring
Okay.
that boy down.
Okay.
I imagine you're just Misty stepping above him and just falling.
Falling
Okay.
on him.
So strength check
there we go.
with advantage plus an extra d4. This is just strength, so just strength modifier.
Alrighty. So 12 plus 4, 16 for the first one.
Plus a d4.
Plus a d4. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me just clear that. So the first one was a 12. Let me do a d4. So I think that one's better anyway. 16, 19 for the first one.
19.
Yeah, the second one wasn't as good.
18 minus 1 for me. So with the enlarged form, you basically just like grab him in between your giant hands, like, you know, as you teleport behind him, he like turns around like, looks up, and you see, like, you know, Guardians don't have emotions, but the way that his eye, the red eye, blinks, you as a Guardian would understand it to be fear, like blinking in fear. You grab him, and then what? Are you just gonna like back, like have him land,
Yeah.
like you land on him?
Just land on him, yeah.
Fuck me.
Amazing.
All right.
Jesus
Normally
Christ.
it would
That's
be
so good!
d6 of damage for every 10 feet fallen, so 5d6, but you're on top of him and you're bigger than him.
Yeah.
So let's say I will do it as 5d10 damage.
Jesus.
I saw a message in chat that just said, "By God!"
I saw one.
Look at him in half.
I saw one that said RKO out of nowhere.
28 points of damage.
Jesus.
He had 26 points of damage left.
Oh my
As
God.
the body slams
Oh,
into
yes.
the ground, you just hear a like,
Lord veracity!
Holy
Incredible.
shit.
Sentry, you are going to take 5d6 of damage as well, but
Who cares? That
That's
was
cool.
by far the coolest kill in all of the rows so
15
far.
points of bludgeoning damage to Sentry as well. As you kind of
That is a great
Squash
finish.
hit
him.
around hard.
That was really good.
Squashed him real good.
Squashed him.
The thing is like, you probably would have dealt more damage if you'd attacked him twice with Divine Smites, but the cool damage is way higher for this.
Who
Hey, just real
cares?
quick, was he 60 feet above anyone else? Like directly above?
Oh, like Quill?
Like Quill, for example. I just want
I
to make
love how
sure.
he's inviting this to himself. Quill, make a dex saving throw.
Oh,
You want
fuck.
to invite this kind of game? We'll play this game, sure.
Next save?
It's like he wants to die.
Nah, you know what? I'm going to get Elder Quill to auto... Oh, no, I make the roll first. Ignore me. 19? 19.
19's enough.
Within,
Yeah, you
within 3 feet a sentry, or 10 feet a sentry.
you see this coming and you throw yourself to the side knowing what's about to happen. Like, you see Sentry teleport
Right.
and you're like, uh-oh, I know what she's gonna do.
I somehow know what she's going to do here.
Oh, yeah, but you've adventured with Sentry for, like, you know, a long time now. You see her, like, look up, teleport, you're like, oh, fuck. And just-
I knew she was going to do that. It's way too cool.
yeah.
I don't think
Ayla
she
like
would aim
runs
for you
over
either.
with a hammer. Ah! He's dead. Boring.
Yeah, so we are out of an... Well, technically, we're not out of initiative.
He's dead. The big guy is going to come back. I don't know how he's going to
Ooh!
react to the whole...
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
You all ready
Be prepared.
actions, and then when he
Yes.
reappears, you all
Yeah.
destroy him, is how this happens. Like, you'd all be there waiting, like...
We take a long moment to be like, so it's here, is it? Okay, everyone
Right
stand
here.
right there.
where the big
I'm just going to
footprints
chalk an
are.
X. I'm just
Yeah.
going to chalk an X in the
Yeah,
ground.
it's just loads of
Okay.
arrows
Okay.
on the
Lying
ground.
around.
Everyone ready?
Stand out here.
Quill
Everyone
counts
ready?
down.
And boom, cancel the punishment.
Yeah, like Ayla and Sentry meleeing it, and then you just see like 3 cantrips just like annihilating him. Yeah.
Oh god, I'm just imagining Sentry like the Majora's Mask moon coming down to
24 hours remain.
0 hours remain.
Yeah. Squash.
With the threat eliminated, Barrier returns with the other 2 guardians. Pumpkin is now sat on his shoulder. Just kind of like, this Pumpkin would look over and go, "That was awesome!" It's just like cheering like for Sentinel Prime.
It was just like,
yeah.
We've got to go inside. Sweep.
Terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah, Sweep's inside. If we can get
I think
inside,
Smasher's
they were
legs
hammering
are-
on it.
How do you know?
I think
How do you know
his
Sweep's
legs
inside?
are broken. Smasher told
Ayla
me
said
that
it.
Sweep's inside, and his legs are broken. I don't think he can move.
Yeah, you can see he's managed to kind of flip himself onto his side, but his legs are just, they look like they've been stomped on and crushed, basically. His big flail hand has been snapped. You can see the chains being disconnected, so he's only really got like a stump of an arm there, but he's used his other one to kind of like drag himself over and pull himself up onto the side. And you can see that, now that you can see the 2 big titans were trying to break into the temple, which again is all made of glass like the rest of the city. Now that there's not a threat, you can see that there is a tiny hole that somebody had broken through, and it's probably just big enough for a small or slender person to slip in. And they were trying to break down the huge doors, basically. But yeah, Smasher just points towards the temple. Sweep. Danger. Sweep.
Smash it.
You want me to smash through the door? I can get in.
Attempted. Managed. Small. Hole. Sweep. Hide.
Maybe it only requires
fact-
one of us to go inside and get him.
Her.
Yeah, you could easily go in there. I mean, you could also just try and call out and like let them know it's safe, or you can go in there if you wish to.
I'm gonna cast Locate Creature as well. Well, now that we're here.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, this is here, right? This is the actual temple of.
This is the temple that you remember fighting Herald and Rook at. For Sentry and Quill, and I think Nova would probably pick up on this as well. It's been cleared. Like, you remember fighting a lot of Feral Guardians here with Max. There's no sign of those bodies. For Sentry especially, there's no sign of Rook. Rook's body is not here.
Oh goody. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use the Wayfinder's Guide to do Locate Creature for Herald.
Okay, and that's like 1,000 feet, right?
It's a lot. It's a big boy. That's what it says on here. Actually, it just says big boy.
Big boy.
1,000 feet. Yeah.
I was not pinging the 1,000 feet range.
Craps. Okay.
Meanwhile, while Quill
Yeah,
does that,
you-
what's everyone else doing?
Can I like call through the hole? Like not call through it. Like
Yeah.
Sweep. I don't know if you remember. It's me, Nova. I met you in Kelly's Rest. It's okay. Smash is safe. Hi.
Make a persuasion check for me, Nova.
Persuasion. +5. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay, yeah. You see, kind of like, as you're peering through, you're like looking through. It's dark inside, even though the outside is glass. It's so thick that it kind of becomes cloudy, so light doesn't pass through it super well. So it's kind of dim and awkward inside. But looking inside, you do see a kind of slender guardian figure sort of crouched up into a corner as far away from the doors and wall as they could be. You can just see her blue light of her matrix and her eyes. Looking in your direction, kind of... The other one was able to disguise itself. You could be a trick. Where is Smasher?
Smasher's out here. He's fine. Well, his legs have been damaged, but we can fix that. It's fine. What can I say? Do you remember us from Callie's Rest?
Is Sentry with you?
Yes, Sentry, call through.
Sweep, I'm here. It's Sentry.
Okay, I'm coming out. And Nova, you see them begin to kind of scurry forward as they make their way. They kind of crawl through. They had to like squeeze through. Smasher was only able to create like a tiny sort of gap, but you can see that they're incredibly thin and lithe, this guardian form, as they kind of stretch their limbs out and pull themselves through. They kind of clutch their body to them, looking very awkwardly around, very nervously, but does emerge, sees Sentry, and immediately kind of you can see relief. Oh, Sentinel Prime, I'm so glad that it is you, that you are here. Harold told us to wait for you.
I'm gonna go over and hug her, and
and then she just gently kind of hugs you back, kind of.
I'm sorry I made you wait here.
No,
it must have been awful.
It is okay. I came with Harold, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I'm not a warrior, but I wanted to be useful. I thought that I could help them carry supplies and things like that. And then when these things began attacking us and the other guardians and all sorts, Harold thought that it was best if I just find somewhere to hide. Smasher agreed to stay here with me.
Do you know where Harold went?
Yes. She told me to deliver a message if you found us. She said that if you came to the City of Glass that you would probably come here and that we should wait for you here and deliver a message. But those horrible, those other guardians, the ones with the red, they hurt Smasher, and they was just trying to pretend to look after me. They were trying to protect me, rather.
Well, you're safe with us now. We'll look after you, and we'll get Smasher up. Tend to him.
Yes. Harold said to tell you that she thinks that she has a way for you to help all of the Guardians. There's a device here in the City of Glass, a device when it was Kamina City. She said that it was something that Queen Astoria made along with Harold, something that she used when she was corrupted. It's the device that allowed her to speak with Guardians at great distances, to connect to their matrices and speak with them. It is called the Conduit, and it is stored in a tower a little ways from here, high up, the tallest tower in the city.
Okay, we'll make our way there then next.
Yes, you must hurry. That foul guardian, the one that was taunting me, it was saying that his master was tracking them. He was here looking for clues about Harold and you. His master seems to know things about you. Is looking for Harold. Is looking for the Conduit.
Do you remember Breeze?
Yes.
That'll be them.
They called him something else, an overlord or lord, master Veracitor or some such.
He's given himself a real dumb name. Sorry, hi Sweep, nice to see you again. Just gonna butt out now. Real dumb.
Very well. Well, whoever it is, you must stop them. But I am also afraid, Harold, I think that she may try and do something rather rash if she finds the Conduit. She seemed to think that this was a way of making up for her mistake. She speaks of it in a final term, that this is her last mission or some such.
Oh no. Okay, we need to get there before she does.
Yes, she has Chipper and Scout with her as well. They both travelled with her to help her navigate, so hopefully they can help. And she took a guardian from here, a warrior-looking like one. He was dead or feral or something, but she took him.
She took Rook.
Something about him having access that she needed to the Conduit. It needed to be accessed by one of Queen Astoria's loyal guards.
We need to go. We'll look to the rest of the party.
Okay, that's Sweep. Yeah. Hi, Sweep. By the way, you mentioned a disguise. Who was disguised?
I'm assuming that you have defeated them or destroyed them. That one that you were fighting, it could change its form. It could disguise itself. It tried to speak to me as other guardians, saying it needed help and the like, but I didn't trust it.
Do you know if this is something that any of these kind can do?
I don't know. I don't think the big ones were intelligent enough to be able to do it, but...
No, they were not. Okay, be on the lookout. Remember, clear skies. But yes, we need to
won't
find...
be much use, and poor Smasher. And she kind of goes over to Smasher, who's just rolled over. The other Guardians are kind of trying to help Smasher as well, kind of hold him up and stuff. Archer will look around. Sentinel Prime, without a weapon, I'm afraid that even Barrier and myself, I don't know if we will be able to offer you much assistance in traveling through the city. You know that we cannot be particularly quiet, but perhaps this temple will provide us a safe place. We can look after this Guardian and the injured one here. That way we can at least be useful.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Yes, keep safe. I have something that might help you. I've got a short sword in my inventory that I got from, I think, when we went underwater. And I'll pass that over to Archer. I've just
short sword.
It's a mundane short sword. I don't care where you got it from. Sure.
I have a bow.
Archer takes it. A bow would be preferable, but perhaps. And she will look around. She looks at like Barrier. Barrier is like, I am not built for offensive capabilities. She looks at Sweep. No, I'm just a cleaner. And then she looks at Pumpkin, and Pumpkin just like looks up and is like, makes like grabby hands at the sword.
Maybe.
Getting some real Vala vibes over here. Should we give them like a
and
lot
on
of
that
daggers?
note, I'm gonna get out
Just
a dagger
chaos
and give her a little dagger.
Takes
Yeah,
that
a lot
in the
of
one hand.
daggers.
It's like a spade. I know how to use these.
And then she takes the short sword.
It's like, 2 spades.
Bad guys are dirt.
good. Yes, that's very good. Bad guys are dirt.
I will try and keep
Weeds.
the little one out of fighting, but if need be,
Prune
I'd
them.
rather that they had something.
Yes.
If you have a bow,
them.
Master Keelek, I would be glad for it.
Oh no, I don't have a bow. I was joking. That was a joke I said
Oh.
earlier.
In that case, Pumpkin the sword. Then takes the short sword back.
Yeah. Sorry.
It is all right. Got him.
Oh wait, no, I've got 2 longbows
That's
in my
the one
inventory.
I
I will give a mundane longbow too.
Do you have any like
Archer.
mundane arrows as well? Do you have like ammunition? I know you had some magic ones.
I don't think I do.
It's okay.
No, I've just got the magic
All right.
ones.
Well, she'll take the bow anyway, and then perhaps I might find some glass arrows. They won't fly very well, but perhaps I can find some. There must be some shops or things nearby. Still, I'd be glad to have it, even if I do not have the ammunition for it as is. Mundane longbow acquired. Yeah, you give these guys as much as they can. Barrier drags Smasher up. They can't fit him through the hole, but Barrier basically leans him up against the temple and then stands in front of Smasher.
Awesome.
Stay safe,
Love that,
everyone.
Barry.
Thank you.
I will do my best.
Okay.
I think this would be best for them, Sentry. Power in numbers and all that, and they can hole up here. It seems like even those huge dominators couldn't get inside, so...
Yeah. Won't be
Hey,
long,
Pumpkin, if anyone gives you any trouble, just really, really go for it. Really go for
Okay.
it. You know?
Sure, they're
got it.
like weeds. I'll pull them up like weeds.
Their hearts are weeds. Rip them out. I didn't say that.
Prune their limbs. Prune their limbs. Why not?
Okay. Perfect. So the tallest tower. Did they give it a direction?
Yeah, she
Or you
points and points at
Okay.
a tower. It rises up. There's you can see that there's a whole district of the city of Glass to the north, which is towers with bridges that include to connect them. Separate to that, there is one very tall tower. Very beautiful. It looks like it once had defense stations. You can see like arcane cannons, all now turned to glass, built around it. But it is definitely the tallest one.
This one?
It is indeed. Yes, it is the
Unknown tower.
Mm.
Ah, known now. Gotta look
But
for
again, you will
conduit.
need to move through at least one other zone before you can get there.
And the one to our east is the destroyed area, right? The difficult.
Yeah, it looked difficult to traverse through. That does mean, and again, like this is, Ayla would probably pick up on this the most. If it looks unstable, it's unlikely that enemies will be there. You'll be contesting against the environment rather than maybe a fight against feral guardians or other enemies and things like that. If you go into that tower district, again, lots of big glass buildings that feral guardians can probably hide in. You can also see this is the section of Giselle where those airships are hovering around. The towers could make you very visible and vulnerable to those because you'd be traveling across these like open bridges between towers and stuff. So
that sounds way too dangerous.
Well,
but it's also navigating.
It looks cool in my mind, though.
running across like glass bridges.
Cool. Yeah. We should daydreams of that, and then let's go to the east through the destroyed.
Yeah.
Just remember, sometimes picking what seems the most, safe or like, oh, this is the character. The characters would pick the one which is logically better, right? No, you guys can pick the absolute crazy, cool glass bridges route if you want to. There's no wrong decision. It's just whichever one you fancy.
To the bridge of Khazad-dûm.
I do want to go to the bridge of Khazad-dûm, the glass bridge of Khazad-dûm.
Glass bridge of Khazad-dûm.
I want to.
Sure.
Will doesn't. Hey, Sentry, where do you want to go?
Also, again,
Yeah.
if you guys want to take a short rest, this could be your last chance to do so before getting to this tower.
We are with Guardians.
Yeah. Or even a long rest. I mean, 8 hours, but
I'm pretty low.
8 hours,
Do with a
but
long
we
rest.
just got told that Herald is going there on her last mission. Don't think that's much of an option.
I'd opt for a short rest here.
Short
Could
rest
you
sounds
try
good.
and send Harold a message? And be like, hey, halt. Stop. We're here.
I mean, I am getting super low on spell slots. Well, it's
But I
not
mean,
bad.
if
It's
that would
just
allow us
also,
to...
I could do. If you write the message, 25 words. I'm just a messenger.
Is there any way the sentry can do it?
or you can just
send a
write the
message.
message.
I just write the message. Okay,
I mean,
let's
unless
see.
you, do you mean like more in an RP sense that like you want to try and reach out to Herald or something like that?
I'd save cool spell slots. Like just if there's a way that the Matrix could do it, but
It's not one of the features the Matrix can do.
no.
I mean, you can spend like if Sentry, you probably spend some of this short rest like trying to focus the energy, trying to reach out. The Matrix has the ability to connect with other Guardians. But it does seem to be based on like visual range. Like you have to normally see them. Like every time you've done this before, you had to touch it or you had to see it. The Matrix is growing stronger. You can feel that there is a greater connection there than has ever been. You can feel it has more power than it ever has. Maybe at some point in the time, or maybe that's what this conduit does. Maybe it's that's what you need to be able to speak to others. But for now, you need to be able to see them, unfortunately. So the sending spell might be the only way.
Yeah. Okay. Try and think of what to say.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Hiya.
Herald, stop what you're doing. We're on our way to help you. You don't have to be alone.
How many's left?
How many was
2?
that? I think that's 2 left.
Clear skies.
This guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Again, Quill, you know that this place has been messing with like divination spells as is. You do get a response. Heavily garbled, heavily broken. Kind of like enemy's tower. Mix of like it's all garbled words and things like that. Must protect. Cannot conduit. Solution. Buy.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, sorry, hang on. Not buy. Try. Time.
Well, I've got no idea what the entire message could be, but I've got an idea. Yeah, I'll repeat that message back. So she's under attack at the tower, which means we kind of need to get going now. I think she's going to try something. Maybe she's out of time, or she's trying to make time, or something. But she's going to try something.
Right. Well, which do you think is the quickest way? North or east?
Well...
Perhaps you could fly and
quickest
scout?
I mean, if east is trouble with the terrain, I can fly over it, so that makes things easier for me, unless we want to expend more spells getting over it. That would be the fastest route by far, flying over this terrain.
100%.
The Tower District
I can...
sounds too dangerous,
Right.
in my opinion.
I can offer a fly.
I can help people to fly as well.
So 5th, I can do it 2 people. 6th level, I can do 3.
That's on top of yourself as well. So like 2 extras
okay.
and then 3 extras. So yourself and then 2 others, or yourself and 3 others. So
I
Nova
can
can do 3. So and that's again yourself and then 3
Including
others.
Myself. No,
Oh,
that's
including yourself.
myself and then 2.
So 1 and 2 others. So between between the 2 of you, you could actually use lower level spell slots. Then one of you could use a lower level spell slot and just do it on 2 of you. Because you need to cover 5 people. Yours is automatic, right? So yeah, so Nova can do 2. So Lucius, if you did a 4th level spell, could cover you and Ayla.
I'm good with that.
Great.
Then
And
I'll
we're all
meta
moving
magic
50
it back
feet as
en
well.
route.
All right.
Cool. Great.
Use my
okay.
font.
Imbued with magic, you all head up into the sky and you begin flying, as the bird does, directly towards this tower. Soaring over the city of glass, your flight does garner attention. You begin to see feral guardians like running along roofs and things like that, chasing after you. You also, the airships flying around Giselle, a few stray shots, but small targets at a huge distance. They slam into the towers and things like that around you, causing glass shards, but not enough to deter you from your course. And eventually, unable to hit a small target, and as you dip and weave in between like buildings and things like that, the airships turn their attention elsewhere. Eventually, your flight leads you to emerge into a much more, not open, but a section that seems to be like crystalline gardens, stretching out crystalline trees and flower beds, all perfectly preserved in this glass, worn down and eroded, but still hauntingly beautiful. And at the far end, near where once the walls of the city of glass would have once stood, is this enormous tower that stretches up with defense platforms and all sorts. As you begin flying towards it, something comes screaming past you. It appears to be made similar in construction to some of the airships that you've encountered, but it's smaller. It bears a resemblance in a way to some of the Ethereum devices you saw being made in the fortress, the weapons factory by the forces working with Count Valkyrian, but it is not those. It almost appears to be made with, again, sections of Guardians that have been built and repurposed. Almost like parts of Guardians have folded up and been conjoined and combined together. Like a great bird made of metal comes screeching past. It clips one of these great towers, causing the tower to smash down, and then it seems to land in amongst the base of the tower. you can see it with great kind of red engines propelling downwards. It hovers in place around the tower as it turns to face the group of you flying towards it. You can hear a voice being projected out of it.
Ah, we meet again, Prime. Whatever remains in this tower, your little herald, I will enjoy taking it from them and using it to educate the pathetic guardians to their destined future. They will learn the power of Hadar, and when Hadar annihilates this world, we will be the ones to rule it. You should have joined me, Prime.
As you hear the voice of Breeze echoing out from this thing, warped now, deeper, much more powerful than it was before.
You're muted. You're muted, Ree. No, Ree, you're muted.
Damn it! If you lay your hands on another guardian again, you will die.
No, Prime. There is only one who will fall today. And it will not be me.
And it's a bit early, but we're very warm, and I want to prep this to be a really fucking cool fight.
Yep.
Gonna end it.
I think he's talking about me. He's talking about me. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
How does he look, by the way? Like, how different to before?
So this you can't, like, there's no individual. Like, you are looking at what appears to be almost like a Dominator ship, like a Dominator like fighter jet. It's like been created out of other Guardians, and then it's been, parts of airships have been built into it to create a kind of like a Magipunk fighter jet, and you assume that Veracitor or Breeze is inside it.
Oh, so it's not like a wingsuit or something. Like that is
no. It's like it's like huge. It's like this like big fighter jet, like a kind of like a triangle shaped fighter jet.
Yeah, I want that. I want that. I don't want a storm chaser anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, Lucius, do you want a new ship? Do you want me to get that for you?
Just Frankenstein Guardians. No,
it's made of if this was like a human variant, it would be like a bone ship made of like skeletons, Like,
sweet.
You want that Sentry?
Yeah, you want that? You could certainly, Nova, be like, that's a cool design. I'm going to remember that and try and make a normal version.
Make a nice version, yeah.
What are the materials?
I'll make it out of all the people on the beach. Wait, no, what?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Not even surprised at this.
That's Kim saying that, not Nova.
Yeah, it's Kim. We know the difference. Kim is the one who was very excited about her horrible murdering of an entire ship of enemies, and Nova was horrified.
I was proud.
Yeah,
I was very
cool.
proud.
All right, but because it's warm, because I want to make sure I've got that. I wasn't again fully sure how far we would get, so I don't want to go into a really cool fight underprepared. I do have the enemies ready. I do have that stat block ready, but I know that we're going to kick off with a cool fight, and I'd rather do it when we're not all baking fucking hot as well.
But from the stars, he came screaming past us. Get it? Star
Screamer, nice.
No, that was you fought Starscream already. You fought the cowardly lieutenant.
This dude's a jet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but just so you know.
Yeah.
Actually,
I wasn't going to have Lord Veracitor turn himself into a gun that's wielded by another Dominator, 'cause that's lame.
Why?
That would be lame.
right.
But yeah.
But yeah, so we'll fight him next time, and we'll also try and get to the conduit before Breeze.
Look, a conduit is a thing, right? Mass Effect can't claim the word conduit for all time. A conduit is a thing.
I know, I just want to...
What next? I'm not allowed to use the name Sovereign or Harbinger.
Garrus.
Am I not allowed to use
or
those
Commander
either?
Shepard.
I can't call someone Commander Shepard. What, have they got that locked in, have they?
You're not allowed to mention Earth either. That's a BioWare property.
Gotta save Earth.
Yeah.
DMCA'd.
The Reapers. Just be glad I didn't call them the Reapers. Yeah.
Yeah, what a cool episode, though. What
Yeah.
a great fight against those big boys as well.
Yeah.
Just shut down that little
boys.
screaming nerd, too.
Man,
Yeah.
it also goes to show you that, like, yeah, okay, I got like a big spell off and hurt a lot of you really badly.
Mhm.
But again, you killed these guys in like 2 turns. Like, you just ripped them
They are
apart.
nothing to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
I need to, but then it's all right. It's something I've already learned anyway. It's a case of the cool fights are the ones where it's not about the hit points; it's about the objective. That's the trick to it.
The hit points
The
made
hit
along
point
the
fights
way.
are fun. The hit point fights are the ones where I want you guys to feel like badasses, and you are, because you are. The ones where it's a challenge need to be about more.
I've got no spell.
Remind
I've
me
got
again.
2 spell slots and none of my fun abilities, so it'll just be a lot of Eldritch Blast from me.
I mean, you've only got 2 spell slots normally anyway, so that's fine.
Took
right?
a short rest, didn't you?
Yeah, you took a
I
short
just
rest.
used 1 for fly. Just use
Oh,
1 for
that's
fly.
right. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But I haven't got any of my
Hey.
like 6 or Arcane Gate or Maddening.
I mean,
not
Quill
Loud
and
Maddening
Lucius
Darkness
have
again.
like vastly less, right? Now,
Mm.
because you're worn out.
Uh,
You're a bit worn out.
they
Oh,
have
I mean,
so many more to start with.
I've still got quite a few left, like enough
quite
for
a
another
bit.
fight. But I was prepared for like, oh, we've got a fight on the journey, and then also there's going to be some big fight at the tower, and also maybe we have to get
You're
out
assuming
of here.
that this is the last fight you've got before you get to Herald.
I
so-
mean, yeah, I'm
Cool.
treasuring my spell slots. That's right, you heard it here first. Tom treasuring spell slots.
Wow.
have you still got Lucius? Have you still got your big 7th or 8th level? There
Yep.
you go.
Dude.
Those are very useful. And
Yeah,
then, I mean, to be honest though,
don't-
Kim, like Eldritch Blast, you did like 30 points of damage with just Eldritch Blast. Like, can't sniff at that, right? Like, that's pretty
Tasty.
good. Yeah.
And it looks cool in my head.
Yeah. I always imagine it that you point Tiangong and like the blasts are coming out of Tiangong is how I imagine it. Like,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
you
I like
swipe
sniff.
with it
But
and
now-
like, you get a blast.
Yeah, now that I've watched all of Avatar, I think it's more like a swipe, like a kind of
And
a monk
and then
swipe.
like a crescent blade of energy flies out of Tiangong kind of thing. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Master sword.
All my chromatic orbs come out my ass.
Yes!
Oh, do they? You fart them out.
Wait, no, I did not say
yes,
oh yes
dude.
to Trot. I did not say oh yes to Trot. I said it to
Sounds like
Tom.
you did.
You did, though.
Sounds like you
No,
did.
Tom said it was like the Master Sword. No, not like farts. No.
Well, it's
Oh, yeah,
top
tell me
spells.
more.
He gets to decide how they appear. So, you know.
Hey, sweaty gamers, do you want me to read through all the donations and get us out of this
So
goddamn heat? Well, I'll begin with some gifted subs from Being Wolfie, J Lee 5397, KB Man DS, Ligeratus, long time no see, Idunny Ken, J Danger 86, and Bigot Basher. Thank you for the gifted subs. We also had some bits from Trumpol, Coiled Twitch Bot, and also some Yog donos from Olarenve, Coiled Twitch Bot in bits on Yogs as well, and Rune the Warforged with $5 dues in bits, and they say, hello, is this a homebrew campaign? Yes. Remember, never split the party. Bye. Thank you very much. There was
It's an
also a
exceptionally
link.
homebrew campaign.
Exceptionally
It's the
homebrew,
most
yeah.
homebrew.
And that was all the bits and
Yeah.
bits and gifted subs, but also we had a donation from Ghost in Progress, which was a $250, and they say Pumpkin is that kid from the first Incredibles movie. I love her. Dash? You mean Dash? You talking Dash? We talking about Dash? Is it Dash? Anyone?
I don't know.
Someone?
No.
Okay. Rogue Pantaloons donated with time for Tom's tantalizing tongue twister. Pad Kid poured curd pulled cod. Pad Kid poured curd pulled cod.
There you go. Nailed it.
That's it. Easy. GG. Varus donated with no message. Thank you very much. Dark Day 41 donated also with no message. Thank you very much. Fail has donated with Pumpkin. She has the best gremlin energy. This was such a good episode. Excellent fight. Loads of cool things. Also, Sentry falling on a dude. Impeccable. I loved every single Guardian who showed up, except Breeze, who sucks. Good luck for next week. Thank you. Bye. What a great callback. We also had a donation from Max. Wait. What have I done here? I've clicked a button and it's ruined everything.
Tell me about it.
I've just found a donation from me saying testing. Where am I? What in the fuck?
I'd like to thank.
Is that when we
wow,
first?
look at
I
this
think
guy,
you've gone back
Tom
to the
Hazel.
very
Thank
first.
you so much. What a great donation.
Yeah.
You flipped the
Oh.
time around.
I think that's the very first donation.
I got it. I'm back. Max and Menace has now Streamlabs has closed itself. Max and Menace.
God.
Max and Menace has donated with a short poem. Hadar is red. The party is on a killing spree. Props to Ree for the DDT. There you go.
Nice.
DDT, by God!
DDT.
DDT.
By God,
That man
you
is a
broke him in
family.
half. You broke him in half. And I believe
a family.
that is the lot. Thank you, everyone, for
Thanks,
the
everybody.
subs, bits, and donations.
Thank you.
Amadeus Fink, also thank you for your donation too. That was about 3 years ago.
Testing.
Never actually thanked them. They must feel awful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not a fan anymore.
Rude.
I just want to throw another quick thank you, a very big thank you out to Kirsten Salumia, who's actually put together a whole Excel spreadsheet of all the Guardian,
Wow.
the community Guardians.
Oh,
So
incredible.
thank you, Kirsten, for that.
Yeah.
Massive, massive help.
They are legit,
Yeah.
real creations.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
They're
really
very cool.
Really
All of them have
cool.
art
It's
as
awesome.
well.
Super awesome.
It's the best
obviously,
thing because
like,
they had
if-
no idea they'd be included, so it's the most organic way of including them.
Yoink!
Exactly.
Got him.
Stolen idea.
Throw the Pokeball.
Yeah. And
Got
obviously,
him.
like, again, please don't be upset if your one doesn't get named. I'm just going to pick them out. I literally picked the first two I could think of, which was Pumpkin and Barrier for the types that Sentry asked for. So, but
Yeah.
I will try and get them wherever I can. I will roll on the table and we will pull some Guardians out.
Yes,
So,
it's
Maybe.
very rare that you include anything from the community.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a funny one. I'll talk about it another time. But yeah, it's a whole interesting thing. But I think this is the best way to do it because this is
Yes.
something that the guys were doing, the community was doing anyway, and I just think is a cool
It's a
idea.
good way to
and
celebrate
I
that.
don't want them to get inundated with people submitting their like OC Guardian. He's a half demon, half angel Guardian, and he's the most powerful Guardian ever, but he chooses not to be. I
Way
don't
to-
want
He's
that.
a level
Please don't
69
ban that.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I do not want.
He's got a
fucking
gun.
Sonic OC.
Chaos control.
Chaos control.
Well, I mean, you've opened the floodgates now, so
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Anyway, thanks very much, everybody. Don't forget, again, big thanks to D&D Beyond, our sponsor, but also we've got a bunch of sponsored stuff coming up. We'll see you again on Tuesday, this Tuesday.
Yeah.
Spread the word. 8 p.m. High Rollers D&D and Yogscast Twitch to play Steamforged games, Animal Adventures Faraway Sea. Kim's going to be an awakened pig. There's a Chow Chow Bard. There's cats. There's a fucking goat paladin, which I'm pretty sure Rhiannon's stolen. So come and check it out. It's going to
I'm
be a
an
lot of fun.
otter.
You need to practice your goat
But you
scream.
don't have to be.
My goat scream.
Just sounds like me.
But yeah, come and check that out. And we'll see you again then. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
very much.
Everybody.
Bye.